Also, the ladies have definitely been getting more and more comfortable in the strong conditions. It takes some time to score a lot of strong wind days, but everybody's so focused on big air now that the progression is just right here, right now.
Do you know there was a bloke here yesterday that from your country that got 35 meters in the sky, almost the world record.
Is that Dutchman Jamie Overbeek or what?
Overbaked, yeah, he was out there as usual, going absolutely massive. It was pretty impressive.
Current world record holder at 35.4, I think, on the Woo, and yeah, absolutely incredible how he gets so high off the flat water, and yeah, see him push all the moves. So I think we're gonna see an increase in height, and yeah, the guys keep adding style and tricks to this. So it's an interesting time for big air kite surfing. So thanks for tuning in. We will get on the way very soon with heat number 3 of the ladies.
And yeah, a bit in the dark here again as someone goes through a big. I can see the AP flag on the beach. I'm not sure what you can see right now. Maybe you see a black screen just like me, but if you do, you can still hear my voice. We're going to get through that. We're going to work through this. That's what
As,
life's about.
as we always do, some slight technical issues, but we're here to solve them. The team is working on it, so definitely stay tuned.
But we'll talk you through it. And I can see right now on the water, Francesca Miani looks super powered now on her F1 kite. It's a yellow flag on the water, which has been raised nice and strong. I could have done with seeing that earlier, actually. I didn't know what was going on, but all I had to do was just bend my head around a little bit further as I look out to the west to those big mountains in the background. This lovely backdrop here in Bacares. It really is a wild place, and looks like everyone's woken up now. 3:31, the crowd are just turning up down the beach now. Was there a party last night? Maybe.
I just rolled in. I don't have anything to do with that, Lewis. But yeah, this spot does look very interesting, and I also have seen some videos of riders. They do a massive jump, and then after they completed their trick, they're still like 10 meters up in the air, and they get their second loft of wind, and yeah, you just see them adding some more rotations and getting very creative with that second lift.
So once more, I'm sorry if you can't see anything. I'd like to almost say neither can I, but I can because I can look out the window. So I can see out the window there's some action going on here, and the crowd are definitely gravitating down towards the beach. And Francesca Miani is coming flying into the beach now. She's definitely warming up, and she's going pretty big.
Yeah, the more wind these riders can handle, the bigger they can go. So it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top in this heat.
And it's not all about having a massive big kite. It's about what you do with it that they say is important.
Exactly. The moves matter, and also the landing. Like if you don't land it, you won't get scored. So it's going to be interesting who can really stick it in these challenging, strong, gusty conditions and really outperform the rest.
All right, looks like Francesca Miani then is coming left foot forwards into the box and turning around. She's not going to perform this move right now. It's the first round of the Lords of Tram. Sorry, the first round of the GK Big Air Kite World Cup here at the Lords of Tram. And this year, interestingly, there won't just be a once-off Big Air World Championships, because this event's going to count towards that as well. It won't be a winner takes all in Tarifa.
Yeah, this year we see a lot of big air kite surfing events popping up, and everybody's hungry for the world title. So they're gonna calm down and give it all their gut for coming out on top and take home the world title this year. It's a strong field of competitors from all over the world, and it's great to be a part of and great to see unfold in front of our eyes.
Apologies for the technical difficulties we're having right now. Oh, the screen's popped back on here so we can deliver some information to you. We're sounds like, looks like a dodgy cable. You know, you get dodgy cables sometimes. So it's back again. So I think that's just on our display here. So we think you're okay back at home. So we're going to talk to you about what we can see here in and outside the window. And what we can see right now is riders jumping near and around the 9 to 10 meters mark again. So it's not absolutely ballistic out there. It's really playing silly buggers this wind today. And it's switching from a northerly. As we face south from our window out here, the wind is switching between sort of a northerly and a westerly or something in between. Right now, looks about bang in the middle, but coming in left foot forwards now.
Oh, just wiping out in that kite loop double back roll, not keeping it together. You saw that she was struggling a little bit to find the right speed and the right wind, but yeah, that's you have to find it for the right attempt.
Unfortunately, I think that's going to score as a 0, that one, Ruben. She sort of had the technique, but it didn't quite work out for her. So Francesca Miani from the UK is currently in the lead. And our cable assistant here looks like he's just going to hold the cable in the whole time. It's Liam Dredge. Guess what? He does everything. Cable assistant as well as part of his part of his duty. You can't stand there all day, Liam, can you? Like, surely you can get like an AI or something to do that role.
The cable park is just to our left, though.
Okay, nice shot here then. Just actually is quite a flat spot. It's not the choppiest. It's certainly the closer you can get to the sandbar, but in this case here, it's Johanna Distier. He's riding left foot forwards that's choosing to get nice and close. A 7-meter core kite here. What's she got for us, Ruben?
Nice takeoff. Oh, and there goes a boogie loop. Oh, sticking it clean and keeping it together. Very nice.
God, for a second there, Ruben, I thought she was going to carry on rotating to a backside block side. It was really trying to pull her, but she fought that really well, and perhaps that's the move she needs to try and take her out of this third place here. We've joined this third heat then a couple of moves into it, as it was put on hold earlier due to the wind dying, but here we are then. A big welcome to you. It is the women's round number 1 here. We haven't run the men yet at all. It's heat number 3. And it's the Lords of Tram GKA Big Air Kite World Cup. I'm Lewis Crathen, and standing next to me is Ruben Lenton, and things are about to get going here. As this wind typically, Ruben, comes up in the afternoon and the evenings, I'm sure you know. So we're about to see some action time here. So this lady here needs no introduction. Francesca Miani. In she comes, Ruben.
Nice takeoff. Big loop. Keeping it together and sticking it clean. That's good. Not too much variety on there, not too much technicality, just a straight loop. Let's see what the judges think about that.
Whopping in there with a big straightie. First one really for a while in this heat to go over 10 meters. 11.6 meters here from our Surfer app data, which all the riders have got a phone on them, and it's their choice. They don't have to. No one's forcing them to take this thing out here. And the Surfer app giving us this lovely data. Over 50 meters she traveled through the air, and importantly for me, she was actually in the air over 5 seconds, which is a good sign of a nice big mega loop. So Francesca is looking like she's going to be hard to beat here.
Yeah, she's well in the lead with some good scores on the board already. Michaela also with a nice straight loop and a nice grab there, sticking it clean, a little bit less high than the previous one that we saw.
Yeah, Michaela Pilkington looking to try and upgrade one of her moves here. They can't do all the same moves, as we know, Ruben. They're getting scored for their 3 best tricks out of 10. And there you can clearly see Francesca is getting higher scores up in the 5 points and above range. So it's hard to get up near the 10s when the wind isn't totally nuking. They have to leave some space, some judges. But what can Johanna Distier do here? I think she's going to come back right foot forwards now as we get this lovely shot of the crowd coming down to the action. The sun's gone in for a bit now. Aaron Hadlow complaining of a bakeout down there earlier. It was really warm with the sun, but it's now... Whoa! Look at that power of that yank of that kite, Ruben. What happened there?
What a yank, yes. She just caught a gust mid-loop and just got thrown off balance there. Couldn't keep it together and unfortunately crashed on the landing. But it's my first time here on this spot with some wind, and yeah, it looks pretty proper. And it's fun to see how all the riders have their own strategy of yeah, getting their attempt and their first, yeah, their highest scoring tricks on the board.
A New York Yankee there from Johanna Distier, which isn't going to score massively for her. Ruben, you mentioned that you've been here before when there wasn't wind. I'm interested. What were you doing here?
I was on a road trip, just cruising down the coast, in the camper van, and yeah, we came by here, but there was no wind, so we just checked it out. Big,
Nice.
nice bill on the beach, and yeah, good times, beautiful spot, but good to be back with some wind.
Nice. On that sort of trip where you go looking for no wind at spots. I know those ones. Here we go. Oh, this is a lady that's finding the wind wonderfully in this heat. Francesca Mani looks up for this one here. She's got the Italian surname, but she flies under the English flag. She very much is a Brit, and we're very proud of her back at home. I think she's taken this heat no problem. Oh, look at that speed of the jet skis on there.
Oh, it's Peter. She get him a fine.
Well, his first fine. He had a clean license. I spoke to him this morning down on the beach. Of course, more and more of the crowd now starting to turn up down here. They just have a good timing here. 3:41. Maybe they just know when it's windy, like those people in Tarifa. They're all crazy down there in Tarifa, aren't they? The wind really starts to mess with you if it's so windy for so long. But our lovely public coming down to the beach now, but flying into the zone here now. Michaela Pilkington, can she upgrade a 2.87, which is her third best trick score? Here she goes. Nice takeoff.
And the loop, can she control the landing?
Maybe
Yeah.
to blind.
You saw her landing tail first, absorbing the power from the impact, and yeah, dealing with that nicely.
Yeah, she'd be happy for that. It looks to me like she's just trying to solidify that second place in this heat.
Yeah, you see Francesca is well ahead here, just getting some more height and more technicality in her tricks. So the judges are loving that. And I think a good strategy to go for is trying to get 3 good scores on the board and then trying to increase the technicality and the height. But it is yeah, it's very hard to stick to that strategy with such a gust. Here you see her time riding on the rail. She's probably going to turn around. Oh no, she does the back roll, kite loop.
Yeah, that was nice. Very well controlled then for Johanna Distier there. Just really was concentrating on that nice takeoff. That was where the focus point was there. Not super fast and aggressive. That back roll you have to get so right or it ends up, where, as so many of you know, I'm sure, into the back roll 1.5 where you get the big back breaker. We've all been there at some point in our kiteboarding career. So you have to control that back roll, which she's done there. Is that enough to push her into second? Yes, it is, Ruben.
Oh wow, she got that. But yeah, with this kite loop back roll, you have to initiate that back roll from the start. And if your timing is off, you can get pulled out of balance and go for a nice wipeout or get thrown into another rotation or a half, ending in a nice crash. So yeah, definitely good to see the girls stepping it up with some nice rotations in the kite loop as well.
Here comes your heat leader then, in total control of this heat. It's usually 6 tricks, but they've been given 7, and 3 of their best 7 will count due to their tough deal later. Wow, that's lovely, Ruben. Talk me through this.
Wow, that was a nice double back roll kite loop. So she initiated that first back roll right from the start. Then she looped that kite, and at the same time she did her second back roll. Very well controlled, nicely styled out, and I think she's going to get some proper points for that.
Looks a bit closer than one might have presumed this heat so far. There's pretty much 1.9 separating Johanna versus Francesca. So this one got quite close down there, and that must have been due to Johanna's 6.67 that she managed to put on the score then. On your screens right now is Michaela Pilkington. One feels she needs a biggie, Ruben, to get into this.
Trying to build up that speed, riding on the back foot, on the rail, letting the kite climb. Or is she going to turn around? No, she's going to take off in the corner. It looks like the sweet spot. Also going for the double back roll kite loop. And that's what we were talking about. That over rotate. Because of the yank of the loop, she couldn't keep it together. And yeah, nice wipeout as a result.
Yeah, unfortunate that for Michaela. She looked pretty good. The timing of that delayed back roll was pretty good there. But as we saw, she got thrown into that backside block side position it's pretty much only one or two people in the world can ride out of that. That's a tough position to go in backwards on. I think Az has got comfortable with that position. Liam, yeah, springs to mind, was able to ride blind. So famously King of the Air that time with incredible cat-like reactions to spin around. It is the most feared position for any rider to land in, whereas frontwards blockside, at least you see it coming.
Heel side, block side, devastating on the backhand.
Anyway, back to Johanna Distier. Can she make a push for the top position in this heat? It would really help for her progress up the ladder. Everyone wants to win that first heat. What can she do here? She's got 3.57 on the board. That's what she's going to be looking. And that was just a straight kite loop, actually.
Jumping to the other side. Oh, nice kite loop with a nose grab.
That's what she's tried to replace there, big time. It looks like our cable guy must be running out of energy here. He's kept that power cable in our screen here for about 30 seconds. Sorry, 30 minutes, I'd say. 30 minutes. 30 seconds wouldn't be a very pleasurable experience for that TV screen, but 30 minutes is a good effort.
Slotting and riding.
And it's been great for us because we've got all the action here. We've got outside the screen. And to remind you then, so the timer really is there just to, just to be there. It's actually not timed this. All the riders getting 40 seconds to perform their move, and they're taking it in turns. But look how powered she is here, Francesca Maini. Can she put this beyond doubt now?
Oh, just losing her edge there and couldn't go for a proper takeoff. So
Will that count?
I was just going to ask you, Lewis.
I don't think so. I don't think she left the water. So that's what I was saying. So ignore that 18-minute timer on the top up there. There is a timer on the beach here, which is saying to her she's got about 40 seconds. She must be near the end of it. 1 second left to take off. And that foot strap looked like it caused her a problem in the first place. And this could be really interesting then if Johanna Distier can just find something extra than a 4.70. Let's take a look what she actually has there. The wind is totally picking up now. Sand is going everywhere.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see an increase in height and power. So get ready to see the ladies fly.
It's just the kite loop category then that Johanna Distier has scored her lowest scoring move of the three that are counted. It's a 4.70, so I'm expecting her to come in and maybe go right for forwards, although that may well be the end of this heat, actually. They may well have all performed their moves, yeah, which I think they have. It's heat over, and Francesca Maini is going to take that one, Ruben.
So 7 attempts?
It was, yes, it was originally 6, but they gave the girls 7, an extra one there due to the difficulties with their heat earlier on. Was a fair way to do it, actually. I think that was very clever of head judge Mallory.
Exactly, but before you said 10 attempts, where did that come from?
No, I don't think I ever said that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No.
I'll watch it back tomorrow, mate.
It's Lewis Crathen here, and Ruben Lenton is joining me in the live stream booth. It's Lords of Tram. It's the GKA Big Air Kite World Cup. It's the first stop of the year. We can say that now. There isn't just one event of Big Air. This is the first stop. Did you hear earlier, Ruben, perhaps? Maybe you didn't hear this. There may be a third one. It's becoming a bit of a tour, this Big Air thing now.
Ooh, it's so exciting to see all the action burst loose and everybody focusing on it. And each event, we just see the level increase. And these events are actually run with a waiting period, and this is the first day of the waiting period, and Barcarès is delivering already some great conditions. I saw the forecast pop up, and I just knew that I needed to come down. Flew to Barcelona, drove up to Barcarès 2.5 hours, and now here on the spot looking at all this incredible action here at the GKA World Tour. And yeah, stoked to be here, Lewis.
Yeah, I'm stoked too, Ruben. And it's been a bit of an interesting start to the day with the wind dropping and coming back up. There is your Big Air World Champion, though, and Freestyle World Champion, and probably loads of other things World Champion. That is Michaeli Sol, who was just on your screen there, who was heading out here hoping to defend her championship this year in Big Air, Freestyle, and all the other disciplines she might do in everything else in life. She's a real champion, but this wind, Ruben, is now picking up. This guy's the one that needs to get his focus sorted for me. He's still on the trees.
Yeah, her skills and talent are unparalleled from the windy Brazil, always training on her home stomping grounds there and progressing every session. Michaeli Sol is definitely one to look out for, and title defender, so expect a lot of big tricks from her. Who's she in the heat with?
Let's take a look. That's a very good question. She's in the heat with 2 other ladies. Yeah, that's a good start.
What a surprise, yeah, you never know these days. But yeah, the wind is still picking up. What is Michaeli riding? 6? She on the 6 meter? The wide caps are
Here we go. Here is the heat in front of us. Michaeli Sol from the USA. Come on. She's from Brazil anyway. They've just got rid straight of that. Wow, there she goes. From space, actually. Look at that for a start. I think that's a 6 meter dice that she's on. She's ridden. How far has she gone there, Ruben? Michaeli Sol, it says 54 meters. I thought it was a lot further than that.
and I thought it was way higher than that, but it was 12 meters. The screen is actually working without holding the cable in it, so that's a bonus on this side.
That's a great job from Liam there. That's an hour's job. He's been holding this cable and fighting to stick the power cable into the back of the TV and keep it stuck in there, you know. It's been wanting to come out, but it's in there now for good. And we got the real action coming in now. Like, this is really picking up the wind now. If I had to guess, I'd say that's at least 35 knots minimum. And this is a lady you want to keep checks on. It's Angeli Bouard.
Another big air trooper, and she has been part of big air for a decade, I'd say. She's always been the one pushing it, even riding in the big competitions against the guys and kicking some ass. So always good to see her performing, and yeah, looking forward to see her step it up throughout this heat. Up next we got Lana Herman with her attempt. So they get 7 attempts, and the 3 highest scoring tricks will count. Is there a variety score, Lewis?
There is not a variety score, which is wonderful. We don't have to get confused, and this format really lending itself to just getting straight on with it with these 3 big tricks. 8.03 coming in then from Mika Sol. That is the highest score of the year in any big air twin tip event by the GKA.
Wow, that's a good score to put on the board as a first move. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, that's a good stat, that. This is the first event, though. And now it's really pumping here now. Sand is going flying all over the beach. Someone just got slammed onto the water trying to get out on a board. This is picking up extreme now. This is over 40 knots to me. And where has this come from? Really, where has this come from? This was messing around with us earlier. The temperature just wasn't right. She's just getting absolutely lit out to the water there on a 5. This is this could get serious.
Is that Lana? Or who is this? Is she in this heat?
Someone not even in this heat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the gust can just come through like that. The sand is flying. The white caps are absolutely going crazy. And the ladies will have to hold on to all the power that Kite is producing. It's always better to keep the kite really low, so you have a lot of control and weight on the board instead of putting the kite high and then being very light on the board and actually being dragged after the kite. We're here.
Right, with this, sorry to interrupt you, Ruben. With this real interesting stage here in a heat like this, where the wind is, there's no other way to put it lightly, it's gone berserk here, as Michaeli Sol just opting for a big boost. It got that windy there that our race director here would have been thinking, you know, is it right that I keep this heat going so far? This has picked up well over 40 knots. Riders might need to change their kites down, and Michaeli Sol there just going from, bear this in mind, 8.03 to a 0.80, you know. She had to just go for a big boost there because the wind just really was violent. I mean, one of the riders barely just got off the beach in front of us, Ruben, and lost her board 10 meters from the beach. That's how windy that just got.
It's wild. This spot is definitely like the Wild West, man, or the Wild South, I should call it. She NG riding. I think she's going to perform a trick going left, so she's just going to turn around. These girls will be performing tricks going to the right and to the left. And I'm curious to see who is going to pull off the biggest jump in this heat with the biggest loop. Because big air is basically mostly all about kite loops, right?
Well, it depends who you ask, I guess.
I'm asking you, Lewis.
If
that's okay.
You don't ask anyone. You just don't ask anyone.
Just keep it loopy. Yeah, well,
it would be, sorry again to interrupt you, Ruben. I think the answer to that is it would take something phenomenal to win this competition with just big air without a kite loop. But it probably is possible.
Ooh, that's a challenge there. But yeah, the kite loop is definitely one of the most exciting tricks in kiteboarding. And there we see Angie going with a massive kite loop, laid back, getting very inverted, butt checking that landing there. So there will be some points deducted. But she was going massive, nice power, good rotation.
I wonder if we're going to get a replay on this one, because really, no, we're not. That wasn't a question. It was really, wasn't it? The director just says no. We're not getting a replay. We can't even see it on the screen. But really inverted. Then that was quite a unique technique. I'm not sure those two words should go one after the other. A unique technique from Angelique Bouloir then, that she goes very inverted, almost backside blockside in the air, looped it, and then went for her delayed back roll. So here we are then, it's Lana Herman on what is she flying out there? She's flying a slingshot. Nice shot here of her. That's a nice mega loop from her. Can she stick it? Oh, she doesn't. She ended up again trying to get on the edge a bit too quick for me there, Ruben, and actually forcing a frontside block side.
Here's the replay on that. Like, nice takeoff, loop. Oh, just couldn't keep her balance to ride out of that clean and fell off her board. So that means a zero score.
Ruben, you know what it's like to score a zero. How does it feel?
It feels amazing when you just bomb out. No, in a heat you definitely don't want to score a zero. It can definitely be very frustrating because you just want to land your best tricks and win the heat. So yeah, whenever you keep crashing, you just want to do better and better, and you have to keep your head cool.
Here goes Michaeli Sol then, really testing the filmmaker there. Well, that's big.
Whoa.
Massive mega loop with a bar spin, Ruben, a move that you brought into the sport. You think that's going to score well?
Nice, yeah. I mean, there was no rotation in there, but the height was there. Definitely a lot of distance covered, and she did the bar spin, which is definitely upping it. She was traveling 88 meters far and then being in the air for 7.7 seconds. So there was plenty of airtime there for Mika. Let's see what the judges think about that.
Yeah, lovely to get that data from the Surfer app that all riders are carrying on phones voluntarily. Ruben, they're not forced to go out there with this.
That's new.
It. Yeah, well, what were you forced to go out there with?
Mother Nature. Whenever she is blowing, I need to get out there. When the wind is pumping, my heart starts pumping faster, and you just have to ride hard and fly high. That's what these riders are doing. Feeling Mother Nature, seeing where the gust is at. It seems like the sweet spot is right in the corner there. It's nice to take off on the flat water, but you still have to time that gust and really kick on that back leg off the edge. And here you see Angie fly huge with that mega loop laid back roll again, and this time she sticks it clean.
She laid that down absolutely perfectly there. We're going to get a lovely replay. And look at this unique technique here. She gets first really in this upside down position. That's really well controlled. I think that's going to score high into the high sixes, maybe even reach the low sevens. Let's see. But she's going to have to score right. Yeah, 7.67 actually, a medium 7 for her. They like that, the judges. The kite had a good position. She needs these scores now to maybe answer back to Mika, who's starting to find her groove.
Definitely, she was getting very well inverted there, and I think what will score better is if she starts doing multiple rotations, which definitely ups the risk. And yeah, you need to be feeling very confident on the water to pull such a trick. So let's see if they are going to get more confident throughout the heat, because that's what normally happens, and then they will start pushing it.
You've just joined us in the last heat of round one. It's the ladies here we're starting off with. It's the Lords of Tram. It is the GKA Big Air Kite World Cup here in France starting off the year. And we've had a day of a tough day. But now we feel very much that we're in our element now. The wind has arrived. And things just seem to work so much easier, Ruben. I can see it's actually quiet in our live stream booth for the first time today. There's been all people running around and fixing things and doing things, but now we can just focus on the action, and it's Lara Herman who's really got to open her account here. That's a big mega loop. Ruben, can she stick here?
I think she's got it. Oh, just a nice big butt check on there. Too much speed and just couldn't hold it together, but it was a nice straight loop, nice distance covered.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk you through this one now then. She gets really good height on takeoff here. It's actually over 10 meters on the data that I can see, but I think she needs to ride this a bit more downwind, point that board heavily downwind and just take that energy a bit further. She's quite keen to get on the edge there, which is possible to do sometimes, but in that case, unfortunately, she couldn't get on it. But she got rewarded with a 2.53.
Yeah, after the kite loop, it's very important to manage your kite at the right time, at the right speed, the right angle, so that you can come in for a clean landing. And this was a very hard landing for Mika, but she was taking it.
Was that a boogie loop?
I couldn't quite see it. I saw 2 rotations and a loop.
Okay, so has Angie. I mean, this really falls into Angeli's skill set to me. The more this wind picks up, I think she's going to be the one in her home country now that knows this spot so well, is just going to get into this thing and be up for it. So she's currently in second to Mika, but she hasn't really got 2 big moves on the cards. It's their 3 best tricks that are counting here. And in she comes then. Angeli Bouloir, take off. That's massive. That's a double back roll mega loop. This one's big, Ruben. If she can stick this, it's in the 9s for me. Don't blow out. The board might be broken.
Oh, wow. So unfortunate, but she was pushing it with a double rotation here. And she was absolutely going massive. Nice takeoff with that back roll, pulling the second rotation during the loop. And then just like couldn't keep it together on. Oh, the kite just didn't catch her on time. And the board just blew away.
It did. 13.7 meters, 70 meters distance, and over 6 seconds in the air with our surfer app data. That was a biggie, Ruben. I think that would have scored very, very high. That looked exactly what the judges have been asking for. Commitment, kite angle, extremity. That was big from her. So can Angeli maybe land a couple more of these big ones? I wonder how many attempts she's got left. She's only got 3 trick scores counting. But back to Lana here, who needs something.
Exactly. Looking for the gust. Riding a little bit slow, not too much speed. And then going for the boogie loop, holding back a little bit, but putting a... Oh, no, just over-rotating there, and even a cartwheel without the board.
She didn't need that extra gust at the end. I like the position that she found herself in here, Ruben. I thought this was great technique. Really came around nicely. I like that toe side block position. It helps you stop over rotating, but I don't know what happened at the end there, but she got a New York Yankee straight out of it and ended up going around another 360 degrees or more. So unfortunately Lana couldn't land that, but what I like about that, she wasn't scared to throw that move down in more than 35 knots out there now, maybe even 40. She completely committed to that. That was nice to see.
She did commit. I found her riding a little bit slow into it though, so just being a little bit careful there. And also what the riders do to stop their rotation is actually to try and make yourself small to rotate, but then you can actually stretch out your legs to stop your rotation. I think she was stretched out a bit too early there and just over rotated.
Mika not really feeling it there. She's not really in the zone so much there. She's got 18 score of 18 so far as her total score. That will be her 5th trick, so she's going to have one more after this. Now, Ruben, we have to go back to what you were saying about increasing your speed if you stay tucked and opening out. And straight away, my mind just thinks of a squirrel falling through the air, small, and then it opens itself out to try and slow down. Am I...
You and your squirrels, but yeah, that's what they do, man. In order to rotate, you also see the riders, they use their head. As soon as you spin your head and you keep looking, your body will follow. So that's how they rotate. If they want to speed up, they're actually making themselves smaller to spin faster. And then they extend their body to just stop the rotation and time that landing.
Just like a diver on a springboard, really. That's probably a better analogy, actually, than
I like
than a
the
squirrel.
squirrel.
You like this? You can imagine it, kind of, when they open up and they slow themselves down. That drag is actually what would slow your rotation down. But back to the action anyway here. We've got a very interesting last heat of round 1, heat number 4. It's your current big air world champion, Michaeli Sol, who is, I think, Angeli Bouloir is gonna deal with this here now. Angeli Bouloir, can she stick this move? She's got 1 big score on there so far. She's got 2 attempts left, so she's got to land this move.
Wow!
Oh, baby! Oh, wow! Please land this.
Yes, she's got it. Oh no! Again, wiping out on that landing. Devastating there. She was giving it her all in this jump, taking off, going absolutely massive. Look at this.
This is so big.
Oi, oi, oi.
This would have been a big score. I can't wait to see our data coming through. What just happened? She just got a bit unlucky on the landing.
Too much speed. Oh, what a bummer there for Angie, but she was not holding back. She's feeling confident, and hopefully she gets it together in the next attempt.
90 meters she traveled there, Ruben. I mean, she's up in the nines here if she can stick some of this stuff. She's got to collect herself now and stay calm, you know. Like, if she could land that move again and Michaeli doesn't improve her score, she could still take this heat. She just needs less than a... Well...
How many attempts does she have left?
She's got one left, so she basically needs a 9.5, I think, to equal her. 9.5 will take her through.
So here goes Lana Herman riding. Is she going to go for that boogie loop again, which is a kite loop with a front roll? I think she's going to... Oh, no, just a straight kite loop. And just getting the scores on the board. And I think that's very important. Like, if you look at the Angie score, she just has a score of 1 on there. So if you first land 3 tricks that you have 3 decent scoring tricks on the board, that totally makes sense, and then start pushing it. But yeah, it is very challenging conditions with the chop, with the gusts, and we are seeing the best riders in the world take it to the skies. So I hope you're tuned in well. I hope you're feeling good and enjoying the show here.
Can she take this out of reach then, Michaeli? At the moment, there's still a chance that Angeli could oust her, but if Michaeli Sol could upgrade this 4.83 to around a 4.9, she would take it out of reach. I think if she lands this, it's out of reach, Ruben.
Oh, boogie loop with an added rotation, landed, stomped it like a boss, as she does, feeling very confident in this heat and well in the lead.
And she's so intelligent as well, Michaeli. So the wind really nuked it here. The door's just blown open here, and something blew. Was that a person or something, or a dog or something? Something just blown
Squirrel.
into the... That's probably a squirrel. Slowing itself down, or was it further rotating?
Spinning in full speed.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog sort of
That's
thing.
one, exactly.
Yeah, maybe we should have used him. Yeah, Michaeli taking this out of reach, I think, now, because she's so intelligent. She knew the family, because we need to talk about that, about they can't just do the same moves here, Ruben. She had to recognise the 4.83 that she had was actually in the front roll kite loop category, and that's what she looked to upgraded. She got a double front roll in there with a kite loop as well. She's got a big score on the board for it, and she can't be caught up now from Angeli now. I think the main thing with Angeli here is, no, I think we just don't get injured. Don't do anything crazy. You can't win this heat. She's going so big. She's caught. Look at that. That's a bear off and a half.
Yeah, she was catching the gust and was not able to hold her edge to go for a proper takeoff. So she abandoned this attempt, and she's saving it and hopefully riding back and forth to go properly.
And sometimes you got to do that. Or is she going right foot forward? She's really confusing me. No, she's just setting herself up. You can't always win the battles with the wind. We like to win the battles and edge that kite out, but on extreme situations, just ride off downwind. It's okay. The power will go away. No one wants to be stuck in turbo mode.
Yeah, because the judges will score you as soon as you leave the water, so it's good to save your attempt for a proper one. Ooh, Angie with a massive mega loop. And this one she lands clean. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to up her score to beat Michaeli.
So the last trick of this heat will fall to the rider on the slingshot. It will be Lana Herman that I don't think she's going to be able to take any different position now. Nope, even a 10, she'll still be in third place, unfortunately. So what's she got? Can she use this as a time to prepare? Because she won't be out of the competition, of course, Ruben. She will get a second chance. And God, that wind's in out there now, Ruben. It makes you want to go kayak, doesn't it?
100%. Like I say, as soon as the wind starts pumping faster, my heartbeat starts upping as well, and the energy starts flowing. But it's super nice being here with you, Lewis. Looking out over the spot Barcades, seeing all the ladies throw down big time. And this heat is finished. So...
And that's a bit of a crash, actually, so that's going to score a 0 from Lana. That was a wonderful heat of the ladies there, wrapping up that round 1 of the ladies. Look how windy that is, with Bacares in the background. There's the crowd.
Everything is shaking, the container is shaking, you see all the sand fly, you see all the spectators just cover themselves up. Awesome to be here live at the Lords of Tram here in Barcarès in France.
L'économie, c'est comme le climat. Ça subit de plus en plus de tempêtes, de crises, et ça s'accélère. Et un kitesurfer, quand il regarde la tempête, il voit une opportunité de sauter plus haut, de surfer des plus grosses vagues et d'aller plus vite. Et c'est ce regard-là qu'on veut amener aux entreprises pour qu'elles voient les tempêtes qu'elles traversent comme des opportunités. Prenez par exemple la transition environnementale. Ça peut être vu comme une contrainte réglementaire. En réalité, c'est une opportunité incroyable de se réinventer et d'attirer des nouveaux clients et des nouveaux talents.
Welcome back then.
L'économie, c'est comme le client.
Out there.
I guess my heat was definitely the strongest of the day for sure. I felt a little intimidated out there, but I think once I got the first two tricks out of the way, I kind of realized it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I had fun out there and yeah, just super stoked and can't wait for the next round.
Nice, congrats, and yeah, the condition definitely nuking out there, it's picking up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be extreme.
Yeah.
Congrats and
1 to 5 maybe, but I don't have one.
yeah, okay, so yeah, you see the condition are increasing. It's already strong out there. Mika was killing it on a 6 already lead, so yeah, can't wait for the rest and good luck for the rest.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Val. Thank you. And just for the record there, Michele Sol is from Brazil. She is not from America. And Ruben, that microphone that Val had, I think you could do with a bigger one, right? That didn't seem like it was a good enough quality or big enough furry microphone.
Well, you don't need a fluffer for that thing. Wow, that was humongous. I hope you're enjoying the show. It's definitely building action here as everybody's getting more and more confident with the conditions, which are actually building. It's topping up some 35, 40 knots, and yeah, we're in for some more action in round 2 of the ladies here at the World Cup in Barcarès.
So 30 seconds left then, 30 seconds left until the start of heat number 5. And this is really the chance for these riders to make their way through. So ignore those names at the top of your screen. We will bring you the next riders in this heat. Oh look, God, they booted them straight out when I asked. And now we're going to bring in the next 2 riders on the screen. That was too good to be true, wasn't it, Ruben?
Elzine is on the water from the Netherlands. Loves a good competition and just finding her groove to perform her best big air tricks. Who is she riding against?
Someone on the north out there that looks like they're on at least a 5, might even be a 4 now. This really is pumping here now.
She's riding with someone against herself because it's always a nice battle against yourself. Can you keep your head cool? Can you really land your tricks and pull it together? That's always the question in every heat.
You know, I could never ride against myself, Ruben. Do you know why?
Because you're a prep.
No, good guess, but actually because it was just too easy to win.
Too easy to win. Just be the best version of yourself, Lewis.
Always
That's what
beat
it's all
myself.
about. Yeah, definitely. Keep doing.
Is that a bad thing? I wasn't good enough that I could always... My previous version of myself wasn't good enough. I don't know. Let's go back to the action. That got a bit confusing there. So it's last chance saloon then for these 2 ladies hoping to make their way through into round 3. They have to win. They have to win this heat. It's Elsian, who's actually Elsian's here with our live data. She might have just been around there somewhere jumping, but I think it must be Elsian versus Johanna. But we only have 1 person on the scores. And just as we were saying, or I was saying, she's going to have no problems winning this heat if it is just her. Oh no, there we go. There is somebody else. So it's Johanna Distier versus Elsian. Both these riders are actually pretty handy, so tough draw.
They're both wearing the surfer app, so we can see the data coming in as they jump. They've got 7 attempts to put 3 high-scoring trick on the map.
And it's Johanna. You like that speed? That board speed is good, Ruben. Nicely over the horizon. Starts off with a straight mega loop and a clean landing. Good
Nice.
start.
Very important to get that first score on the board. and then slowly start adding rotations and upping the technicality of the trick and the extremity, of course, very important. The judges love seeing that. And look at all the spectators right here, looking at all the action live. Even better than watching it on the live stream. Trust me, when you see this in real life, it's just mind blowing.
I think the real best way to watch it is live on the beach, but with your phone out as well, you know, like double whammy, maybe a screen strapped to the forehead. I don't know. Lots of different options. Back roll. Was that a contra loop? I don't know. You can't ride out of that. You can't ride out of that, Ruben. How has she ridden out of this? Can we get a replay on that? Here it is, Ruben.
I think one foot even slipped out, so she went for a back roll, kite loop, didn't time it too well, and then, one foot slipped out.
A can. She's gone for the
can.
The lay down can. That's got to be a 10.
Wow. No, this will be calculated as a butt check. Yeah, she's getting a 1.2 for that.
That's at least double it or something.
She got robbed.
That was pretty impressive. So Johanna Distier to the left-hand side against Elsian. And there's just two ladies in this heat then, fighting to stay in the competition here. It's become much more overcast now as we go back to Johanna. Nice progressive edge call. Big height on this one, Ruben. This is a high one.
Massive loop, getting some nice height. No rotations, but definitely upping her previous kite loop. Here's shooting straight up in the air, taking off right in the corner, going very straight up, very vertical. And then a nice loop with a speedy landing.
Yeah, that was textbook. That was really nice from her. She's going to be happy with that. It's a nice score. Landed clean. It's exactly what she would have wanted. Anything over 10 meters, I think, is what everybody kind of wants there.
Oh, also catching some nice. Oh, that's with the small kites. They loop fast, but then after the loop, it's very hard to catch yourself again and really time it well with your landing and the height that you have. Like, she's going massive. The kite loops quick, but now the kite just flies over her head too much, and she didn't time it well for the second loop to save herself. But again, riding away and getting ready for her next attempt.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate that's going to be really 12.9 that measured. Unfortunately, we don't have the G-force data to bring you, but that is what we would, what is known in the trade as a bomb out, I guess. We call that a bomb out, that one.
Sounds nice.
It's not nice, trust me, you don't want to bomb out, and that was a bit unfortunate for her. So we switch our attention now to very much looking like the starboard tack for I think she's lining up for that, the other riders. This is Johanna Distier coming in left foot forwards, but Elsian's parked herself on the beach, ready perhaps for a right foot forward. So coming in towards the crowd now in this winner takes all heat. It's a boogie.
Oh, going for a massive boogie loop here, which is a mega loop with a front roll edge. Oh no, too much speed on the landing, just off balance. Damn it.
I didn't think this was odds on, this one, Ruben. I'm going to talk you through why I think that on this replay. Just here, she mega loops quite early. I don't think she got round enough of that front roll to deal with that position so well. She did actually very well adapt to that, but unfortunately she just couldn't take the speed on the landing. But I just thought straight away she's very early on putting that loop. You've got to wait till you're round, in my opinion, halfway round, at least with a boogie loop. But that was some commitment. 12.4 meters over 6 seconds in the air on our Surfer app data. These girls are up in it.
Yeah, 100% Lewis, and I think that's exactly what happened. And I think it is also because the kites they're riding in these strong winds are very small and very fast, so she just mistimed that boogie loop, where in the loop the yank gets produced, and if it comes at the wrong time during your rotation, you just get pulled off balance a little bit, and then it's just very tricky to get a clean landing in. But very nice mega loop back roll here. And is she sticking that? Yes, full speed.
What a clean landing that was. Very good move then. Elsian is most likely going to go, well, she's definitely going to go into first, I would have thought, with that move, Ruben. So just a reminder to you then, they're getting 6 trick attempts, and they're going to get their 3 best scores out of those 6 big trick attempts. So you could crash 3 of them and get a 0, but 3 big scores are going to count. They have to be in different families, and we'll talk you through that as the competition evolves here. You can't just do the same trick 3 times. Ideally, what the judges are looking for is some sort of back roll mega loop, a front roll mega loop, a contra loop, some sort of mixture like that. But we're getting into a...
Johanna goes for a nice big boost. Unfortunately, won't be scoring that well. But knowing that she has the boogie loop in her trick bag as well is is something that she has up her sleeve and hopefully gets pulling it out later in this heat.
Why did she just do a jump there, Ruben?
I think she just wasn't confident on the takeoff, and she just had to abort the loop that she was intended to go for. But yeah, if your takeoff is not correct, then it's very dangerous to go for the move anyway. It's better to abort and save yourself for the next attempt.
Yeah, you can sit here thinking, why would you bother just doing a big jump? That's a great thing to say with any megaloop. If you don't feel right on the way up, you don't send it. She felt right on the way up there, Ruben, and Elsian has landed a nice big megaloop to the right-hand side to answer back. This is a tight heat.
Yeah, I think she added a little grab in there as well. Here you see, oh, she just got a gust before the takeoff. But here, her kite loops, and now she was handling it a little bit better. Still a hard landing, but she took it. So, yeah, I think that's another nice score on the board.
It's Lewis Crathen here and Ruben Lenton talking you through everything at the Lords of Tram 2023. We're here at the GKA Big Air Kite World Tour, and the action here is because it's a tour. It's a tour now. We've got the Tarifa Big Air World Championships as well, and there may even be talk of a third one. But this is really coming along nicely now as the day progresses. You've just joined us here in our fifth heat of the day. We've started with the women. Been late to start today with this funny wind, but on our screens is Johanna Distier. She finds herself now in second place here, going out of the competition unless she can drastically land some moves.
She needs a boogie loop. Yeah, and she's going for the front roll mega loop. And, oh, another rotation and just crashing super hard. Almost with her kite landing on top of her head. Wow. So she's throwing herself into a front roll, looping that kite a bit too fast, and now she's just losing her balance and didn't know where she was anymore, looking the wrong way to spin, and then just bombing out on the landing.
Yeah, she got thrown into, I think she fought it off the second rotation, and so often we see with many of the riders just go into a second rotation. She fought it and fought it and fought it, couldn't fight it right till the end of landing, and it threw her into what looked to me is quite an uncomfortable landing. So often landing on the board causes the injuries to these riders. So she appears to me out the window that she's okay, and I can see in the background on your screens there she is okay, but that was a biggie. 13 meters up in the sky. Just to give you an idea of how high that is, these kites are about 20 to 24 meters up in the sky. It's over halfway up, and these ladies are starting to push it. She couldn't grab it. She didn't find the grab, Ruben.
She was looking for her board there. Adding a grab during the loop is definitely adding some style, and the judges love that. But this was not performed too well, but it will put a score on the board.
Very difficult skill to mega loop the kite with one hand. It goes against everything you've ever learned about control and keeping the body tight to release the hand. It's a very modern way of mega looping a kite, which has led to board offs and all these other types of tricks. But it's a difficult skill to do. I think the longer you've got used to two hands on the bar, it's not an easy thing to do. So sometimes you don't find the board, or the kite whips you out in a bit of a Jankenstein. But unfortunately, she doesn't get what she wanted there. But we turn our attention back to Johanna. She needs something here, really, Ruben.
She's going again for the boogie loop here. No, she's going backwards. So back roll kite loop and landing that. Not too high, not too crazy. I think after two of those massive crashes, she's quite done for this heat.
No, I think this is sensible riding here. She's realised she's got to get something on the score. She's literally put everything in place to make it about her last move. She's got one more trick attempt coming up after this. So she had to get something on the board there. I think that it's going to replace the 1.63, or it may well have been in a different category. But let's see what that score comes up as.
But Elzine is in the lead. And she has one more trick attempt left. And she's going for a boogie loop as well. So she did the front roll, looped her kite, and landed it clean. Nice.
That was a difficult one to see, because we didn't actually get to see so much of her kite. I just think the distance she went there, I'm not sure she loops the kite here, Ruben. I'm not sure. I think she didn't feel it, maybe. I know she does loop the kite.
I know what a boogie loop is, mate.
She just didn't get the distance.
It wasn't the height, it wasn't the distance, but she performed the move, and yeah, I'm curious to see what the judges will score this.
Well, she's opened the door up here for Johanna, perhaps, but she needs quite a big score. She needs about 5.8 here.
She's going for the boogie. Again, go do it. Yeah, right. Chuck yourself forward. Yeah, there she goes. Boogie, very inverted, dealing with the yank, and Finally landing that boogie loop with some nice height, 7 meters.
Is it going to be enough though, Ruben? That was a very rough estimate. I think she needed roughly around a 5.8 for this big on this screen here, Ruben. It could be enough for a devastator here. What a devastating way. She was happy with herself as she landed. Has she caused the devastator? Are we going to see her oust Elsian for first place? 14.66 to 8.8.
Nah, she won't make it.
You don't think she'll make it?
No.
I think she needs. We're about to find out. Maybe it was an 8.5. And
But yeah, I saw her building up her confidence and pulling that boogie loop in this kind of wind, these challenging conditions, in front of the crowd at the Kitesurf World Cup here in Barcarès, the GKA, where the world title is on the line for this year in the tour. Everybody wants to become Big Air world champion, so then you will have to win this event.
classic example where it would have probably been worth going into a second rotation there. And really, unfortunately for Johanna, is that it was the same trick category, so that's why she hasn't been given her third trick score. She's replaced one of her other tricks there, because I think that move was big enough. I think she scored a 6.07 for it, so it would have been big enough if it was in a different category. So unfortunately for her, maybe she just thought, I want to go big with this move anyway, but I think Elsian there has escaped a bit of a devastator, but she rode more consistently, Ruben.
Yeah, a little bit of more basic tricks, I'd say, but yeah, getting the scores on the board and still adding some nice rotations there. So very well done with the strategy from Elzine there, and let's see how she builds her confidence throughout the event in the next heat. This was round 2 of the ladies, and we're gonna continue with the next heat, heat number 2 of round 2. The wind definitely came through for us, so we're seeing an exciting show unfold.
It's nuking out there, Ruben. I'm watching the beach here now, Ruben, in front of us, and I'm expecting one of these kites to go any second now. You know when you look, oh, there's the dice. There's a red dice over there.
I think the yellow one is going.
You reckon what?
The yellow one is going. The
yellow one's going as well.
Off the beach. Somebody sees it.
Who's going to see it? There are kites that haven't been weighed down enough on the beach. You can't see that where you're looking right now. Coming up next, by the way, is Angeli Bouard, Michael Pilkington. But that red dice on the beach looks, that must be Michaela's as well. But the wind is pumping now. It's what these big air riders want and need. And Ruben's pointing, and it's the red dice that's ended up in the water there. I win. I win. I won.
You're such a winner, bro.
I finally won something. It's just they're so light, you know, those kites, the way they're built and everything. It wasn't really fair on the other kites, which may have been heavier.
I mean, as the sport progresses, also the equipment sees a massive change, and keeping up with the performance and allowing riders to jump bigger and bigger, handling more wind, feeling more direct control over the kite, and I hope we're going to beat the 40 meters soon.
What do you think about that? How do you think this would be going down out there now if we forced everyone to go out and see kites?
Yeah, that will just be heavy, back to the old days. I don't think many riders will be able to deal with that. I don't even know how I pulled all those moves on the sea kites back in the day, because they're pretty powerful, not much deep power. I don't know if there's even that much lift in them, but we made it work. So
I feel like there's sort of just only been one option with them, and it all was about that era, just who could go the biggest and get the kite the lowest. Okay, on your screens then, back to the action, because it's about today and what we're doing now, and this is very much about these two riders, Angeli Bouard from France and Michaela Pilkington, or Pilks as she's known, from the USA. This is quite a tough heat to find yourself in round 2. One of these riders will be going home either via Barcelona or Montpellier or one of the other very easily accessible airports around this region. The other one will be staying in one of the very high quality hotels that you can see all around here. So who will it be?
beautiful. Yeah, it was quite easy to get here, 2.5 hour drive from Barcelona, and
my sat nav said 3 hours. Were you driving safely?
Of course, always Lewis. Safety third, you know me. But this heat is going to be on the way soon. Thanks for tuning in to the GKA live stream. You're here with me, Ruben Lenton and Lewis Crathern. And coming up is Angie against Michaela. It's going to be an exciting heat. We just saw Angeli throw down some massive moves, but unfortunately not getting together her landings and all those tricks. So hopefully she knows how to handle herself now and really land some proper moves.
So that was a bit closer than we thought. Those scores didn't really reflect the categories as well as we would have liked on the screen. It was only by about 0.21 that she took that Johanna Distier. So,
So she did
she did it.
she did get a
She
third
did
score.
get it.
So in the
Yeah.
previous heat, we actually saw Johanna overtake Elsine.
And there was a devastator.
That was a devastating heat for Elsine then. Unfortunately, out of this event from the Netherlands.
So we apologise that we couldn't bring you that live devastation emotion to the screen. We felt that what we were shown on the screen was the trick category was copied. Now, Ruben, let's talk about trick categories quickly while we have a very small moment here. You know, what is a different move from a mega loop?
The rotations you can add, you can rotate backwards, you can rotate forward, you can jump to the left, you can jump to the right. So there's different ways of pulling a loop like this. This was Angie with her signature mega loop back roll. Absolutely nice style, getting super inverted and landing this one clean. So getting a nice score on the board for her first trick attempt out of 7. And she only needs 3 high scoring tricks in this heat. And let's see what Michaela is going to answer with.
That wasn't as big as Angie can go. 9.3 meters there. Perhaps she was keeping it for the end. She can't afford to blow this heat now if she wants to get through. We know she's got the big moves, you know, Ruben, but she's up against it. Jasmine Cho. That's Mike's other half.
But what happened there? There was a different name on the screen earlier.
No. So it didn't. No, it was. This is Jasmine.
Wow.
But we've got. No. So Angeli's score was just coming in. That happens with the surfer app sometimes. You can jump around anywhere on the water, and it's going to give us that information. So 6.5 meters for the American. There seems to be loads of Americans here. Even Michaela Pilkington. Michaeli flying under Michaeli Pilkington. That would be a good American name. But lots of people here from the States, and Jasmine looking to progress further here. She had a wonderful event over in Cape Town at the Big Air Kite League out there. Let's see if she can continue it. But she's up against it. Nobody wants to draw Angeli Pouai, who's on your screen now. Hand off the bar. Couldn't do that on the sea kites. There's the second hand on the bar as she searches for somewhere to take off, Ruben.
Riding full speed on her rail. You see her kicking that back leg during the takeoff, going for a double back roll kite loop and sticking it. Yep, she's hungry for the win.
Blow me sideways and call me Stephen. That was an unbelievable trick then from Angeli. That is going to score up in the high 7s, I think.
All right, Stephen.
It's just a phrase of speech.
Okay.
Blew
me away, mate.
English. It blew me away, that move.
Angie there, but also Jasmine. She's been training hard, spending all her winter in Cape Town, where the wind is pumping, the waves are rolling in, and she's been training her big air tricks. So let's see what she's going to throw down right now for us.
Left foot forwards then. She's got 5.77 on the board so far. She's got to have the heat of her life here, I think. She's going to take on Angeli. That's a nice takeoff. Oh, maybe they didn't get the height that she wanted, and she's bailed out of that one.
Yep. It looked like the wind wasn't there for her, so not a good takeoff. She didn't time the gust well, so unfortunately one attempt goes missing.
Big shout out to our sponsors here, Anio, Duotone, Ion, the Port of Bacares, who are just so wonderful at facilitating this event, which they put everything into. It's not just the beach they're helping with here and the access, it's the accommodations for the riders. It's a wonderful town to work with down here in the very south of France. Je ne comprends pas.
Nice one, Lewis. And we got Angie going for another belter of a move. Going super big, but just a straight boost off. Unfortunately, no loop, so no real extremity in this trick.
That cameraman had to zoom out so far then, he ended up in the car park.
Here she wanted to go for a loop. Oh no, this is the boogie loop from...
That was the move that actually has got Johanna Distier into the next heat. No, that replay is fine. That was a crucial... That's okay. No problem. Because that was the move that sneaked Johanna Distier in from the previous heat, and she got through by 0.21 over Elsien. We were talking about a devastator. It did happen, and that was the replay. So This guy's just miles ahead of us here, bringing us the replays. But on your screen now then is women round 2, heat number 2 of the Lords of Tram GKA Big Air Kite World Cup. It must be 40 knots out there, Ruben, now. This live stream booth is
Shaking.
rocking.
That's it. That's what we like. We like it rocking. I think it's going to look good for tomorrow as well. So definitely keep watching as the action keeps unfolding and building throughout this event. Absolutely awesome to be here with you, Lewis. And yeah, curious to see who's going to take the win in this ladies heat number 2 in round number 2.
You know my van rocks like this when it's really windy.
Yeah, that makes weird sounds as well.
Nice, yeah, I like it. No reaction from the two of us as we were looking carefully out the window here because the contrast now is difficult. This cloud starting to come over the mountains behind us and the weather very much feels like it might be changing soon. We've got a little bit of clear sky above us. And I wonder if this is one of those weird places where the clouds go the opposite direction to the wind. You know, are these clouds moving to the west but the wind is, you know, coming a different way?
Yeah, the conditions are definitely wild and very challenging for the riders to find the right gust and keep control throughout the move and then going for a clean landing. It's not a given, and we see the best female riders in the world competing here at the GKA Kite World Cup here in Barcarès, France. The Lords of Tram.
Ruben, did you know this was a world sailing special event?
Of course, I knew it. It says on the screen, mate.
Yeah, that's a good answer, I guess. But meanwhile, back to the action. It's a big mega. It's going to be about 11 meters, I think, here from Angélie Boulois. She's building this heat really nicely. And maybe this is the change in her riding, Ruben, that we're seeing now. Maybe that was over 11 meters even. That maybe it was even 12. I don't know. That's what it looked like to me. I'm not the surfer app. I'm just somebody that reads it out. So maybe she doesn't have it out there with her. I don't know. But Jasmine Cho is up against it because this is a revitalized Angélie Boulois. I haven't seen her construct a heat like this for a while, Ruben. She really is going easy, not going crazy. She can't afford to lose this heat. She wants to keep in this battle for, you know, she wants to get some good points here.
Oh, nice kite loop with a blade back roll and sticking it. Very well
nice
composed.
That. Nice that for Jasmine. Good reply. What do you think this is going to score, Ruben?
So she goes for the kite loop and she just gets yanked into that back roll because as soon as the kite gives you a yank and you look over your shoulder, your body is just going to fly backwards as well. And it just feels really good, especially if you land it. And yeah, what are the scores going to do? That's
5,
up to the judges.
Maybe. Oh, it's bigger than that. Oh, no, yeah. So Jasmine going into the lead now. It's just a 1.6 that Angélie needs to kick out here. And that scored reasonably well then for Jasmine. Doesn't look like it's in the right category for me here so far. There's a kite loop back roll we're waiting for to come in from Jasmine. And now is a critical stage here for these riders. They really have to be smart about what trick. We're staring at these scores here from Angélie, looking at her 3 best tricks, which are a 7.20, a 1.60, and a 4.00. You can go online, gkakiteworldtour.com/events, click the live button. You can see what those tricks are. She's got to replace the 1.60 trick family. It's no point replacing the others. She's got to push this one out if she wants to climb. The mega loop board off.
Yeah, she's sticking the mega loop board off. I thought she was going for that in the previous move because she was reaching for a board but just couldn't find the timing, and now she just nailed it. So while she was jumping, looping that kite, absorbing that yank and taking the board off at the same time and going for a clean landing. I think this is going to score well for Angie, and yeah, let's see.
Yeah, that was a really cool move from her. So Angélie,
was it an
8.07? Yeah, she kicks out that low 1 number now. This is going to be very difficult to reply. Jasmine can do that move. I know she can do that move as well. I wonder what she's thinking here. Her lowest score of a 3.23 is currently just a standard kite loop. She's got a high score for a back roll variation. That's her highest score, the 6.93. Her front roll's pretty decent as well. She's still got time. She's trying to upgrade her front roll. So I'm not sure that's going to be the right tactic now. She's already got a 5.77 scoring with her front roll kite loop. I'm not sure that's going to maybe beat it. She's got to go for that other category I think now. And Angeli, that was genius, just to go for, she didn't upgrade the category with the low score. She just went for a whole new category altogether, Ruben. She's really impressed me how she's building this heat here. There is the scene here in Bacarez for this first round of the Big Air World Tour. It is Lords of Tram. It's the GKA Big Air Kite World Cup in France. The crowds are here, and on your screen is Angéline Bouloir, who is the French rider who's doing a few left and rights here. Angeli's parking herself right in the block zone here. Let's see, how long has she got for the time? 0. Might get timed out.
What do you mean with getting timed out?
Oh, well, what I mean by that, Ruben, is we've got this big screen over here which gives them 40 seconds. All right, so the judges and the race director, they want them to perform their trick in 40 seconds. They feel that's adequate time for the rider to ride around a little bit and then decide when to jump. But Angeli here is sitting in there as if to say, look, the wind's gusty. She's purposely sat down there as a protest to say, look, the wind went funny. So her timer was on 0, but she's going to go flying into this anyway.
Jumping right foot forward now and going for a boogie loop that side. Oh, landing it clean. Very, very nice. She's getting into the groove of this competition rhythm and really sticking her moves now.
Yeah, that shows some class there from Angeli. She really has had a dream heat here. Lovely takeoff. Exactly the same way that she would perform that in the other direction. We call that a switch, really. And I think she's got the nails in the door here for Jasmine. But Jasmine needs something big. She needs a big one. That's the 3rd trick in a row that's over 6 for Angeli that we can see in her top scores. Jasmine is almost at a stage now where I don't think she can do anything about this now.
Even with a 10, it's not going to happen, is it? But yeah, the judges are looking closely and scoring each trick family as they perform. And Jasmine can better the 3.2 that she has on the scoring board.
She can do it, but she needs a 10 in that category at least, Ruben. So if you knocked off her 3.23 here now, you'd put her on around 12.5, something like that. So with a 10 added on top of that,
she could do it.
She could do it. And as we've seen with Devastators here, as the wind has calmed down now, Ruben, it's gone quiet here in this live stream, but it's probably not what Jasmine wanted to happen. Right, she may have needed the wind to go berserk out there to give her their chance. There looks like that change of wind direction to me now, where I feel that the wind's coming much more from the north now. We can see that aggressive angle back to the beach, right foot forwards from Jasmine here. Before they were staying sort of perpendicular with that sandbar, which was a bit more west. So this wind is forever flicking between north and northwest today, and maybe a bit of west in it. So that's what the riders are given this flexibility with their 40 seconds for, because sometimes this changing of the wind direction, it's strange what it's gone absolutely dead silent in here now. There's no sign of any kites being blown around on the beach. I'd say, Ruben, that dropped temporarily down to the low 20 knots for a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit up and down. And yeah, like you say, Lewis, when the wind is shifting direction a little bit, it can create some lulls and definitely a lot of gusts in the wind. So hopefully it will switch back and kick back in for some more action.
And as kiteboarders, we tend to look at the water. Obviously we can't see the wind, but we can see the signs of the wind. And one great way that you can look for the signs of the wind is actually the rough patches on the water. We're looking at big signs of patterns and strong dark areas, and it looks a bit more like the wind's come up now. But just the other thing you can look at is someone's body language. Does it look to you like Angeli's totally overpowered there? No, not to me, Ruben.
No, she's stood very relaxed on that board, quite up straight. She doesn't need to put a lot of pressure and power against it to hold this kite down. So yeah, the wind is definitely in a little bit of a lull. And also the things that we look at is the sky and the flags, the trees. Every sign of wind, we can read it. And you can use heat is cancelled, unfortunately. The news just came in due to a lull in the wind.
So do you know what I'm going to say, Ruben? I think this isn't as far as heat cancelled. It's just on the flag is up at the moment, the black and white flag, I believe, which is just postponement, because we've got, what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think Angeli's performed all of her moves. I think perhaps they're getting 7 trick attempts, or Angeli may well have got out already. So they're just currently postponing this one just until they can get that. Their scores already will stand. There's no way on a 22.0 Angeli's going to come in and expect the heat cancelled. So this heat isn't cancelled, it's postponed. So she will keep her scores, and it's likely that they're going to just get a couple more trick attempts at some point. But you can clearly see there the wind has pulled back, and it's been doing that a little bit today.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be.
Wherever you go in the world, one airline goes further to make it feel exceptional. Qatar Airways, going places together.
Local from this competition. How was it out there? And congratulations on a really nice hit.
Yeah, it was quite nice. I'm happy. Finally, we have a strong wind, so I'm really happy to be back in Le Cat and send it again on my spot.
Yeah, you like strong wind, you like big tricks, so yeah, congratulations. And what's gonna be next? Can you board off laid back?
I learned the double board off, but I don't try here. I think it doesn't mean to try because I need to land it more often before to try in comp.
Okay, perfect. Excited to see the rest.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice to hear Angeli's feelings about that heat, which she really done well. Liam, you've just jumped in for a while. How's things going down on the beach?
Lewis, it's windy. It is windy out there. It's just building and building. Some strong, super strong gusts. I was actually down on the point as well, right down on your screens where you can see, and big display there from Angeli. She was looking very, very strong out there. But, this is the aim of the game, and the wind is booting, and this is what we want to see.
So often with Angeli, we see her just going massive, but she constructed that heat so well, Liam. That was a different Angeli that I saw out there. But bringing you next, who's in our next heat, is Carly Toma from the United States against Lana Herman from Slovenia. She's got some support down there. I've seen that flag being waved around out there. It looks like the wind has come back a bit cleaner. It really has been. I mean, we're not just talking like a bit of gust. We're talking like from 35, 40 knots and then dropping down to low 20s, where we've just had to be flexible here, Liam, and you're very involved behind the scenes here at the GKA. Is it important that the race director, the judges, etc., really are flexible on trying to push this through?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, we want a result, but we want a result in the right way. And the race director and head judge, they are in regular contact. I see them all the time, communicating through the judge tower on the walkie-talkies, just making sure that every heat is, good for our riders and it's suitable conditions. We obviously want it to be super strong out there. We want, this is what Big Air is all about, strong winds in locations like this, but at the same time, it's all got to be on the right sort of playing field. And judges and head judge Mallory, Cedric, the race director, they're all working really well together. And, I think so far is so good. The riders are happy. There's a good vibe down on the beach between caddies and crew and riders. So everyone's happy.
Yeah, and we talk about the good vibe down there because with this format, we already heard at the meeting this morning, some of the riders saying, well, is that fair if someone else gets a good gust and then I'm next in line? Because to remind you, viewers at home or wherever you're tuning in from around the world, the riders aren't on the water at the same time together like many other events, but you only have to think to the freestyle where it became easier to judge, safer and better to deliver the live stream to you back at home to just watch one rider. That's what we're doing here in Big Air, and this may well be the way it follows on throughout the year. We don't know 100%, but this is the way it's being run here. And it's also down to the spot. It's a very small spot. It might look big on your screens there, but with two riders going massive in that small zone there, they could easily come into contact with each other. So one rider at a time, and so far so good. The riders are happy with when the judges have decided that it's not windy enough and they've abandoned the heat for temporarily. So all the riders seem to be happy. The crowds have turned up here now, Liam, and I think they're going to be in for a bit of a treat as this evening draws on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting busier and busier down here. This is exactly what we want to see, Saturday afternoon, and good vibes down on the beach. But, riders, just as you speak about the spot there, Lewis, as you can see a nice little diagram right now and a picture. We've got this sort of channel that goes in between, just left of those flags. There's a bit of a channel that goes actually out to the back of the other, I would say lagoon, but it looks awfully big.
I've been up through that little channel and zigzagged, like Austin Powers where he reverses forever. It takes you about 1,000 tacks to get up through that channel and out into the sort of the bigger lagoon in the background there. Yeah. What about,
I was just sort of mentioning about, we see them going when they're left foot forward. When I was down on the pier, it is super, super flat down there in that little pocket. And I think riders are really enjoying taking off on there. You saw an Angeli there doing most of her tricks left foot forward. But if you were out there, Lewis, do you think you could tick a tack along the channel and then do a nice big kite loop, mega loop over the
I don't
land?
know. I think that's quite a big bit of land than it looks. I don't know if I'd want to take that on, especially with this unpredictable wind. But there's the scene right now with you two riders, Johanna Distier Oh, no, I don't think that is those two riders. Carly Toma and Lana Herman.
Yes,
Not
correct.
sure why those scores. Oh, no, they've been.
It's like you're a magician.
Yeah.
Huh? Click of the fingers and the right names are on the board.
And they've got rid of it. So these two are just waiting. The slingshot on the right-hand side is Lana Herman and Carly Toma on the left with the North then. So it's the USA against Slovenia. And they're just waiting. And what they're looking for here is there goes the AP flag down. In fact, that's what they're looking for. I just saw out the corner of my eye the flag that's just been dropped. And that will be the sign then for the first rider of this heat to perform her move, which I believe to be Carly, actually.
Yeah, Carly Toma, if all is good on our end, will be the first rider that goes in. But here we are, women round 2, heat number 3 on your screens now. Carly Toma, let's see what she has for us as she goes for her first trick attempt. Definitely very windy down there now, and you can see Kite loop there with a late back roll. Starts to swing under the kite. So riders now, from when we were first in the booth this morning, Lewis, the conditions have very much changed, and they're sort of most of their jumps now pushing up towards around that 10-meter mark. You see an 8.2 there. Before it was sort of around the 5s and 6s, but it's looking good now.
Well, in some of those previous heats as well, with the likes of Angeli, we saw jumps as high as 15, 16 meters with the surf wrap record, and they really did start storming back up. But now it almost looks like we're back building again from the start. And this is a really tough time to be competing now. You're in a knockout heat. One of these riders will be leaving this competition now. As they didn't win their first heat, they've come either second or third, which is how they've been matched up here. You're slightly rewarded if you finish second, in that you've got someone potentially in your heat that's come third, but that's not always as straightforward as that. So meanwhile on your screens then, Lana Herman with a nice boogie loop on that slingshot, lovely and controlled. Oh, I so thought she had that, Liam.
Yeah,
but lost the kite as well.
No, here we go.
Well, here we go. Where is that going to end up?
Now we're in a little bit of a sticky situation, Lewis, because first time we've seen the kite get lost, as you can see, going for that maneuver there. But I thought, it looked controlled, but then a little unforced error and down she went.
Yeah, not sure why that's been released there. Maybe just put her hand. There is your situation now. Oh, okay, so it's actually the chicken loop's been released. So she's really going to have to compose herself now, Liam, here. And I just think this is such a great example for you, maybe, kiteboarders from around the world now, thinking, when was the last time you put your chicken loop back together? Could you deal with this? Could you deal with this in 25 minutes safely if you was offshore? How about if you had to deal with it in the next 5 minutes because you're in a world tour competition? Because that is the challenge that Lana Herman's going to have to face here. Can she get her kite back together in time here, or is Carly Toma going to have a walk in the park?
Just got to hope that one of those gusts doesn't come through trying to put that kite back in the air, because that can be a little bit nasty. So Lana just working it still. I can look out the corner of my eye. That kite is still smiling, still on the water, yet to be flung back in the air. But I'm sure, Lewis, we've got the best in the business here, the best riders here, and, experience will soon come into play and show. And I'm sure that before we know it, Lana will be up and zooming around.
Yeah, so interestingly here, Carly can't actually go because it's almost in her way a little bit. There is the boat going to help that kite. And I think that to some degree, you've got to make a decision here now as Lana. You either get rid of all of that and swim back in and try and get another kite, or you've got to deal with it. This may well happen on the water. That kite is taking off and flying around for the moment, it seems. So this is a tricky situation. We've had a lot of drama here on day one of the Lords of Tram. It is the GKA Kite World Tour. It's big air taking place here in the very south of France, and we have some big drama right now with Lana Herman. Really didn't need that. All right, she crashed that move, no problem. But what she didn't need is this situation where she's got to get this kite up and do it pretty quickly. And
it's got a bit of a mind of its own at the moment, that kite out there, Lewis. It's sort of flinging around like it's having a party on the water. But best of luck to her, that's all I can say.
There's the scene right now then, as Carly Tom is just waiting. She hasn't been instructed with any flags that I can see, and I think she has got enough space now. But it's one aspect of this right now is that the safety team are very much involved in this with a jet ski and a boat, and that is one of the reasons why perhaps they're not wanting Carly to jump.
They've grabbed the kite.
They have just grabbed the kite, and where are they going now though? They're going straight upwind. She must have got rid of it.
bag themselves a free kite, Lewis. You know,
Surely they're not going to just
nice 7 meter.
ride away here.
Through the channel they go, and off they
Where
go.
are
Off
they
they go
going?
to Le Cat.
So hopefully on the beach somewhere, Lana's got another kite.
Yeah,
Or have they taken it to the side of the window?
Lana was
Somehow-
also on a 7 meter, which was quite full on.
Here we go. That's a lovely boogie loop, meanwhile, from Kylie Thomas. Wow, that was really amazing composure with all of that going on in the background. Kylie really, and you saw how close she was to the boat at the end there. So with all that going on here, we've seen a lovely, not sure what happened with that angle here, but you could see just how easily it would be for these riders to go heavily downwind, and you might just see the boat coming at the end here. So Lana, at some point, I'm expecting to see her. Oh no, she is on the back of the jet ski.
So there on your screen at the moment, Kylie, that score has dropped to 6.57. And Lana just coming in towards the shore now.
Hopefully we can get that shot for you here. She's just come in on the back of the jet ski. That was quite some drama for us to see. And there's a yellow flag up. Where is she? So we're looking for Lana, who is just walked off the beach, actually.
Yeah, just come on the beach. Looks like there's no rush. Just going to check with our sports team, as that might be Lana's final time here.
But she needs to get another kite up here. She's got time here for sure. She can make it out there with at least 3 trick attempts. Perhaps she doesn't have another kite. I think that's the discussion. Meanwhile, Kylie Thomas going around her business, but I'd be tempted to grab anything on the beach there and just get out there. So we can't show you her on the beach right now. I think Kylie Thomas is going to have a walk in the park here. One of the best feelings you can have in kiteboarding competition, when you realise that your competitor's out and you've got to buy into the next heat. Come here. Let's see. Just been brought a coffee. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Feel like it's coffee weather now. It was sunny before earlier on in the day, but now it's come overcast. Those clouds are moving towards the east from a westerly direction. There's Jamie Overbeek downstairs, and Ruben Lenton just outside, hugging his fellow compadres or compatriots. Or compatres, maybe, if you want to go somewhere in the middle there. But this is Kylie Thomas then, women at round 2, heat number 3. I think she doesn't have to do too much here, but can she get another kite up in the sky? Or has she decided to mug this off, Lana Herman? Well, it looks like the hairband coming off from Kylie Thomas, a bit unsure about this situation right now. And she's coming left and forward. She's just saying, you know, like, what's going on here? You know, am I really on my own out here? Is this really true?
Yeah, I just popped out there, Lewis. One of the things I actually wanted to go and check there with tour manager Tom Hartman was in freestyle, if they get jet ski assistance back, then, you know, it's a bit of a sanction. So I wanted to just double check, you know, the reason why maybe Lana wasn't rushing is because, you know, our race director had called something like some sort of sanction or what so. But Big Air, it's a little bit different. I know one of our race directors that we work with at other events, Juan Antonio, he allows that jet ski assistance if needed. So, you know, we will get a little bit more confirmation on that from our sports crew very shortly. But going back to Lana, doesn't look like she's in a rush to necessarily get back out there.
No, I think this is done. I can see the other 2 riders very much going out on the water. In fact, they just put them up on our screens. Justine Averill and Michaela Pilkington are already on your screen. So I think they're moving on here. But that's a great point you raised, Liam. In many of the competitions I've done in the past, as soon as you lay a finger on that support, that jet ski or that boat, you know, you're risking being disqualified,
yeah, for sure,
having that help. But this was a bit of a different situation where so often in the past it's often that you've gone downwind and you've lost that advantage of being in position. So that doesn't apply here, as we've got 1 rider each, and she's gone downwind here. It's not like she wouldn't have been there anyway, but as long as the communication is there to you when the boat says, look, you want a hand or you're disqualified, that's fine. But sometimes you can get a boat, grab your kite.
Yeah.
You haven't even asked for it, and you can be disqualified that way. But I think in this situation, especially with bigger, it is more common to be allowed to have some sort of assistance, but I think that was the right thing to do, to actually check.
Yeah, most definitely. That's whenever we got a sort of a question marks over their head, we always like to run down and try and get the right answers from the right people. But nevertheless, we're on to the next heat now, Lewis. And who have we got on the water?
And we've just seen another kite release. I don't believe what I've seen.
Is that Carly's?
That's Carly, and that to me looked like a deliberate release. Now that must have been just out of your shot to the left-hand side. Now
what's going on out
happened
there?
I'd love to see a replay of that, because that, I'm convinced I saw both hands come up. Here is there's Ruben Lenton down there. Anyway, how he's been. There's Ruben, who's been very busy up here today for the last hour.
Looks busy down there now
so,
as well.
Yeah, he's just hidden that beer quite well. Oh, no.
There he is, keeping busy.
I've been told that that's the non-alcoholic beer. And there's Yop, there's Tom Hartman, tour manager. It looks very relaxed down there, doesn't it?
Well, Tom was actually planning to go to the GWA Le Cat, and then saw the forecast and the green light got called for this, and he thought, what, why not dabble down to
Can't help himself.
yeah, exactly. He loves it.
Why not try and break the record of so many events in a row where he hasn't been home or something? But like, lovely little shots of the beach there.
That's what we like to see, though. Sometimes we like to get a little bit, what's going on down under, really. And
time code here to write down. This is women round 2, heat 4 to pull up later when I want to show my mates that shot of Ruben.
It looks like his glass was half full. Maybe he's going back to the bar.
Maybe, but I know he's just flown in today for this weekend, so I'm sure we can cut him some slack. But meanwhile, we should get back to telling you what actually is happening here now. So Justine Averill and Michaela Pilkington in heat number 4 of round 2. They haven't started yet. We've got Carly Thomas now to the left. There you can see the jet ski to the left-hand side, and Carly Thomas to the very left-hand side after having a walk in the park with that heat. She has become the one that's now released the kite. There goes the boat with the kite.
Yeah, another kite for the locker.
I wonder, has she let go of the bar? Is she asking for a launch? She's in a very fortunate position there, that she can actually relax, because had that happened to her, 5-7 minutes ago, it would have been her that would have been out of the competition perhaps, but that's the way it goes.
I tell you what, this is, grab a cold one whenever you are, don't move anywhere, because it's action left, right and centre. There's all sorts happening down here at the Lord of Trams event.
All right, not long left then until the start of this one. So just to kind of wrap that up, Liam. So she was disqualified for the help that she received with the boat. I just hope that she was offered it rather than it was given to her without her choice.
So, yeah. Yes, the name of the game sometimes, but these riders, we're all briefed in the morning. We have a big, especially on the first day of competition. This is the first day that we've been able to run comp, and there's always a big riders briefing first thing, which is always normally a bit longer than the others. We always have a skippers meeting in the morning before the comp starts, but today, we went through every fine detail with these riders. But back to the action now, Lewis, after what was quite an exhilarating last 10 minutes.
It was. I've still not finished with it. I've got more to talk about it. But meanwhile, it's Justine Averill with a mega loop 1-footer. What an opener that was. She just sneaked her way through in that last heat with that epic last move that we saw, which is a boogie loop. And she started off like she means to continue here. The duotone rider with a lovely big mega loop 1-footer. That's going to score very well. But I'm still not finished with that conversation about the boats and everything. Because the last thing you want is one of those drivers to be in a bad mood and think, do you know what, I'm going to go out here and disqualify as many people as I can today. They only need to get their fingers up. I think it has happened in the past. People just want to touch a kite or grab it or get excited, and it's disqualified people when they haven't wanted to touch the kite. But I'm sure that things are a bit clearer than that these days. Meanwhile, Michaela Pilkington, nice height on that mega loop, little grab, very good landing, very heavy landing, but good landing. Nice start from her.
Yeah, looked fully loaded here with power as she just popped, not necessarily getting the height maybe she was
It
wanting.
wasn't there. It didn't
No.
seem like she got the elevator on that
No,
one.
it sort of looked like it was a little bit in slow-mo, that one. But 7.3 meters, I'm pretty sure that Justine before got an 8.2 if I remember rightly. So definitely got a little bit more height. So we're not going to see Michaela beat that 5.33, especially when it was just sort of a, your standard mega loop, which right now, these riders are going to need to do a little bit more than just those bad boys.
Oh, that's a nice and
Yeah.
aggressive, like a boogie loop, that for me. Justine Avril, who's a top rider, she's used to finishing up there in the top 5, and we're going to see a nice replay here. Quite an early commitment to putting the kite, but I guess she's not super miles up in the sky. She wanted to get that kite round, so nice move from her. She was ranked 5th, she finished 5th in the world last year, so she definitely doesn't want to be leaving the event now, Liam. That wouldn't be right up her street, but she's drawn against Michaela Pilkington, and she had a pretty good year.
Yeah, good
last year.
result.
This is 5th, 3, 4th currently seeded.
Bragging
so,
rights.
Don't want to go out here. And do you know what you get for your reward of winning this? You get a place in the next round up against the world champion, Michaela Sol.
Oh, we're going for the 1-footer as well. A bit early though. Justine putting that 1-footer actually after the loop, but Michaela looked like she pulled it sort of maybe just before.
Yeah, in some ways I think that's harder, but she just lacked on height. She didn't have the bar in the whole way to get that elevator on the way up. So a different technique, and actually something I would feel would be a bit harder to control that loop with one hand and 1 foot out, but just lacking the height, which is really what the judges are all about. They've explained that clearly. Big air's about height, and if you're not getting up there, we can see that was 4 meters here on the Surfer app. The judges don't actually use this data directly, but it's wonderful for us here and for you at home to show you just how high these riders are going with these phones that they have. Don't have to be new phones, old phones, just carry the software. It's an app, the Surfer app, and yeah, look at the height difference. A big mega loop with a delayed back roll. Julian Hun has just popped his head into the live stream booth. Are we going to have you pop on here shortly, Julian? Yeah, if you want to come on board for a little bit. All right, Liam, I'm going to release you to some other duties.
Yeah, well, I'm a busy boy, so yeah.
I'm sure you'll find something to do.
Exactly, it's a world tour event at the end of the day, Lewis, and there's plenty going on at the spot.
Thanks very much, Liam, and joining us now in the live stream booth, competing in the men's division and commentating with me last year, it's Julian Huyn.
Hey Luis, welcome. I'm telling myself welcome back.
That's okay. That's
Nice. The wind has picked up.
It really went windy earlier, didn't it? And then it's kind of dropped a little bit again. And here we are, Julian, in this all or nothing heat for these two. Have you been in a heat like this before where you have to win or you're leaving? What does it feel like?
Yeah, it's quite stressful, especially now that there are only 2 competitors and they jump one at a time. Oh, nice boogie loop here from Michaela. Ooh, butt check. But yeah, it's quite stressful, especially now that they jump one by one. So yeah, it's quite very stressful.
You've got to have a good heat here if you want to stay in this.
Yeah, perfect. I was at the beach earlier, helping Anjali out, and yeah, the wind was quite strong earlier. We could see they were really powered, and now we can see Justin coming in for an extra attempt. Front roll contra loop. Not really getting the landing here.
Here's the replay then of this move. You can see it's not really super nuking now, the riders. That's reasonable height there. The bar looked quite sheeted out for me. It's perhaps why she didn't have that connection with the kite so far. And one of the delays I've just read up here from the race director messages, one of the flags was broken. The blue flags was broken. I just saw a message there, flag broken, repaired, done. So that was perhaps why we had one of our delays just earlier. But we are running nice and smoothly now here. It is the Lords of Tram, the GKA Kite World Tour. It's the big air here in France, opening up the year. It won't just be a once-off one this year, Julian. It's going to be 2 events, maybe even 3, I've been told, which will count to the overall Big Air World Champion. Big Air's just got massive in kiteboarding. We're about to see why this weekend. Looks like Michaela Pilkington. Nice technique, this.
Yeah, nice leg back roll here from the American, Hawaiian, I think. American, but yeah, Hawaiian. Yeah, definitely getting some good technique. We can now see she's edging hard, waiting a little bit to loop the kite and then going around it. So yeah, that's definitely a nice trick.
And it's definitely a move. If you've ever thought of trying that move, one way works a lot easier than the other. The other way seems to be something you have to train yourself to do, but maybe in my case anyway. But the one way just feels right. Great technique that of Michaela Pilkington. Finishing the mega loop, spotting it, getting a bit sideways on the way up, and then really committing to throwing that back roll. So this is going to be an important move in this heat then. So Justine Avril is currently leading this one. She's over about 3 points. She's gone for it. It looked like she aborted that, Julian. She got the mega loop in. Probably won't be as extreme maybe as she'd like to have scored, but threw it anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It's her type of riding. I saw her ride a couple times. She always delayed that loop a little bit, and she obviously gets more height than the other competitors. So maybe it's a technique, but yeah, she's not getting really the power into the loop. But yeah, Justin, the winner of the previous Bigger Kite League tour. Yeah, she won the tour, so I think she might have a little pressure also to be against all those crazy girls, Angeli, Mika. We can see now they're progressing so fast, and we have Michaela going to the right for the next trick.
Michaela Pilkington then from Hawaii. Or from the United States of America there. She's down at the moment on points. She has had 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. They'll get 7 as one-on-one, is that correct?
Yo, that was big.
Oh, she just couldn't stick it. She looked so like... I mean, look at the water. It's a lot choppier as the riders get down. When they take off on that nice flat water, you'd bet your money that she's going to land this from here. Nearly all big air riders would fancy themselves. Bit of chop affects that landing. She just couldn't stick it. She's really got to try and shake that off now, Julian, because she's got to perform. Justine Avril is having a very solid heat here. Scores very much around the 5-point region. If she can just improve a bit more on this is a big boogie loop. I think she would have got higher and with a bit more power the bar sheeted in. Meanwhile, though, it was still a good control. This is what I'm talking about. I'm looking at the control bar as she comes around here. It's just a bit further out there, but actually still that was reasonably well executed from Justine Avril. Will it be enough though to upgrade one of her scores? She's already got a kite loop front wall of 5.17. I'm not sure that's going to play. Oh no, it has been. So I think that was a 5.6 or 5.5 that she's got for that last move. That's upgraded it.
Yeah, definitely. She's riding, doing a good heat. Yeah, just keeping everything under control. We can see she's doing everything she knows how to do. And yeah, I think she's, for now at least, winning this heat for sure. But Michaela, I saw her do some quite crazy stuff in Cape Town. So yeah, we have to keep an eye on her.
It's just a straight kite loop scoring 3.77 for her. She needed a kite loop there, really. That's devastating that she hasn't been able to replace that score, Julian. It's looking like this might be an exit for her. Just here, it just has to feel right on the way up. We had this lovely discussion with Ruben earlier where she just didn't feel right. She had good height, but she just didn't feel it was the right time to loop it. And that's a matter of, more than anything, of safety with a mega loop. The last thing you want to be doing is sending it without even taking off. In your head, you do that at the start. You're like, I'm just going to send it. That's how you get injured.
Yeah, definitely. You need to have the tension in the kite before you loop. Oh, a nice kite loop with a tail grab. Landed.
Almost looked like she tried to remove the foot out here. I wonder if we watch this replay. These replays are coming in really nice and fast. Did she manage to get a foot out of here? Yes, she did. She just kicked it out, and I hope the judges saw that. Difficult move to perform, and I think she shuts the door firmly on Michaela Pilkington. But there's still a glimmer. There's still a glimmer of hope here. She can upgrade one of her lower tricks here, maybe coming for a Devastator. But that move from Justine's probably going to bump her up to around the 17 or 18s in total.
Yeah, definitely. I think Michaela is now going to do her last trick. Yeah.
Only a 4.7 she's got from that. So, yeah, I think this is the end of it now. It's not going to score massively that straight kite loop. An 8.8 meter on the Surfer app. And here we're going to see a nice replay of pretty much the last move in the competition then from Michaela Pilkington, who unfortunately is just going to have to settle with being ousted from the rider that had a slightly lower ranking than her. And Justine Averill looks set to advance. Here at the Lords of Tram, it's the GKA Big Air Kite World Cup here in Bajarez, and we'll be up very shortly with round number 3.
It's Justine Avril that just won the last heat and she made it to the quarterfinal. How was it out there and are you happy to make it to the quarter?
Yeah, I'm super happy to win my heat. Now the wind is picking up a little bit before compared to the other one. So now I'm against Mika. So not the easiest heat, but I will push hard to do all the best.
Yeah, but you know this win, you know the Tramontana, so yeah, you got this advantage. Congrats for this one and send it to the next one.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Val, on the beach there. That's an ecstatic Justine Averill, who's worked her way through. That's the second heat in a row that she's done now to carry on through this competition. And she's done really well. Round 3 coming up shortly then, and we will have heat number 1 of round 3. Nathalie Lambrecht against Johanna Distier. French rider for you to support here.
Yeah, a French rider that I actually met in Cape Town this year. I was sharing a house with her, and yeah, quite a sick person, and she's progressing and sending quite some big stuff. So yeah, really looking forward to watch her. I talked with her a little bit and she was telling me she was enjoying a lot riding here. So hopefully she's going to have fun, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we're hearing her name a lot here in Big Air in the ladies. She finished 5th last year on the tour, and maybe she can hopefully go one better. She needs to win this heat to advance to the semi-finals, of course, and that's where she'll want to be. But wow, what is this for a start? Wow, massive loop on that duotone on the walls. That was big.
Yeah, that was big. Unfortunately, she got a little butt check. But yeah, that was definitely big from Nathalie. You can check now, good height, good tension in the kite. And yeah, not really getting the landing, but that was a good one for sure.
It wasn't too bad though, that butt check. So just with the height of that, it may well score, I think maybe a 4 or 5. I'm just going to throw that out there. There she is out there, 12.6 meters. That's what I liked about that, the height, and 60 meters in distance with our surf app. So it's just a 4.07, but sometimes just having that on the board can be useful. Of course, she would have loved a cleaner landing, and that might have pushed it up, but a reasonable start from her. But this is interesting. Johanna Distier is down on the beach now. This must be her with a core kite in front of us, and there's some real drama here because she's not on the water yet.
Yeah, now we can see her now that she is having a little problems launching. I think some bars went over her bar, and yeah, people haven't been really respecting the rules for rolling your lines when you're done. So yeah, that's what happens.
So there she is. There is the core kite then of Johanna Distia. Is she being timed out? Let's take a look at the big screen.
No, I think
So on the big screen here, she's on 0 out in front of us. So it is the rider's responsibilities to be out there on time and in your heat. So I wonder how flexible the judges will be for her here now, because I can see the flag has been raised already. Blue flag then for the next rider. I think she's been scored a 0 there, Julian. That's big John. But there she is on the water in that white rash vest, looking around with a bit of panic in her eyes. And there's a reason why she's looking like that, because she has missed one of her tricks.
yeah, definitely. I think she's gonna be pretty bummed about that late back row here. Nice from Natalie, nice and clean. But yeah, to come back on Joanna, I think that's quite a mental pressure right before you eat to have that kind of stuff. But hopefully she'll make the best out of it.
Nice replay then of Natalie landing that move. And luckily, really, for Johanna, she hasn't really been punished too badly. But that said, it's not just one trick that she's been affected by now. The second trick here, well, there she is. She's way further downwind in that white rash vest. There's a nice shot. She's out there in the chop right now. That time is probably ticking. Again, 40 seconds, we remind you, the riders are allowed to perform their move. That gives them maybe 2, 3, 4 tacks back and forwards. But Johanna Distia is probably in danger of being counted down again here. May well be forced to have to trick left foot forwards now out in the chop.
Yeah, I think she's gonna come back to the shore and send a loop, but she has to do something quite quickly now as the time is still running up.
10 seconds I looked at about 8 seconds ago, so she has to send this. That's a nice takeoff. Oh, she could have done with looping it. So it's really thrown her off here. Her first 2 moves aren't going to score pretty much anything. Definitely the first one is 0. So she's got 5 tricks left, and only her 3 best tricks will count here. Natalie Lambrecht's probably looking at this like, wow, that is a nice cushy start to this heat.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if she's happy or not happy, Natalie, because it's always better to compete against someone. But yeah, for sure, at least now Joanna is back in the game, and we can see now Natalie is getting blown off by the gust. I think she's riding a 7. Same for Joanna, so the wind looks about 30 something knot. There's quite a big gust now, so yeah.
Wind has picked up here, and Johanna Distia is really going to have to snap herself into gear here as coming towards the beach. Look at that flat section here. She's lovely takeoff. This is massive. Huge grabbed mega loop. Looked like she wanted to take the foot out of the board, and she gets bombed out of that one. Almost punched like a micro burst out the sky, Julian. What happened here? Talk me through this replay.
Yeah, so we can now see that Natalie is doing, I think she wanted to take the 1-footer, but on the landing the wind is a little bit gusty and the water is a little gusty. A nice 12.9 meter jump, and I think she maybe pulled the bar a little too much, and maybe the kite didn't really fly like it was supposed to fly. But we now have Joanna coming in full swing, jump, kite loop.
And she opens her account, so it's her 3rd trick attempt. May well be in her mind her first one, and the replay here is going to be of that move as the wind turbines spinning in the background of this beautiful view in this spot here in back of her head. Straight mega loop. I don't think she's going to get much more than a 4 for that. However, Julian, she's got a lot of work to do here as Natalie Lambrecht is she's had a good start here, and even when she doesn't get the trick she quite wants, she's able to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And we are now going to see Natalie going for a 4th trick attempt. And yeah, the wind is looking like it's picking up. We can see some white caps. We can see the wind. We can read the wind on the water, and you know the wind is strong when it does this. And we now have Natalie coming in with a good amount of speed. Good pop, nice takeoff, kite loop, 1 foot.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for me. Kite work was perfect, but just if that foot doesn't go back nice and cleanly in that foot straps, it didn't look to me like she got a nice connection back in here. She got that yank, and it was never quite firmly in there. You just can't ride away like you would with a foot tightly in the strap. So unfortunately, that's going to be a very low scorer for Natalie. And really, she has left the door open a little bit for Johanna Distier here. So there's still some hope for your French teammate, I imagine. Here she comes.
Yeah, here comes Joanna. Nice boogie loop. That was big.
Oh.
Is she gonna land it? Oh, the kite went too far back. I was watching this directly from the window, and as I saw the kite went super far back. We can now see jump, and the kite. She didn't really bring the kite to continue the trick. She kind of waited a little bit or hesitate, and sometimes you don't have the time to hesitate, and unfortunately, she paid it off just now.
Julian, explain. The kite went behind her. What would have been the best thing she could have done in that situation, B?
I reckon when the kite goes like this a little too much backwards, you have to send your down loop to stop that momentum. Oh, that was a massive boogie loop. The kite angle was insane. She's definitely stoked about that. I think she got a little fright. I got a little fright for her. But we're now going to watch the replay.
The fright we got was that the kite went very level with her, especially with that kite can. But that touchdown is as good as you can get. And quite rightly, she was ecstatic. This is going to be big. And I think this is over the sevens. Yeah, 8.27 coming in from Natalie. But it was in the same trick category as one of her others already. But she's in the control seat here.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the type of trick that boosts your confidence in the water. It makes you feel good. It makes you think positive and not negative. So yeah, I think she's definitely in a good mindset now for the rest. And we now have Joanna coming for a trick attempt. She looks powered. The kite's at 11. She's edging hard, and we're now gonna see what she's gonna go for. She didn't really get the takeoff she was waiting for, unfortunately. Ooh.
Yeah, she come a bit. It looks like she's been a cropper there of two sort of dodgy wind jumps there. She's going in for what looked like a boogie loop for me there. Didn't quite find the rotation. It didn't feel it. You've really got to feel that move because it's very blind as you come around. It's all in the feeling on the uplift for that. And then interestingly, she ended up with a rewind, spun back round, kite ended up way above her again, and she's got slammed down in the water. So she's going to need a near-on miracle if she's going to be able to oust the number 3, currently ranked number 3 from last year's big air event in Tarifa at the World Championships, Natalie Lambrecht, who's making a real name for herself, not just in big air, but freestyle as well. But Natalie looking really strong here. And let's take a look who they might actually come up against here, because the way I see this is that the first in this heat here is going to come up against first of heat 2. So that will be Zara Hugenrad or Angeli Bouloir, which is already a belter of a heat. They're going to come up against very likely Natalie Lambrecht. Bar a miracle here from Johanna.
Yeah, we now have Natalie coming. I think I don't know if she's going to jump to the left. Oh, it looks like it. Looking for the gust. Jump. Kite loop, one footer. Is she going to land it this time? Oh, late rotation.
Yeah, just span completely out of control. One hand on the bar, especially sheeted out, can really present you with all sorts of difficult positions. You look good from here, but then just as the kite shoots up above you again, if you're not perfectly in control, it can spin you back round there. So Natalie, for me, I'm surprised here she hasn't just gone for a simple trick in her third trick category here, just to shut the door and to sort of end the hope from Johanna Distier, because Johanna still does have a chance really here.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Joanna can pull some big moves. This spot is gusty, so a gust can literally change everything.
She's got to land this. Sorry to interrupt. She has to land this move.
A back roll kite loop, not really getting the landing. I think she wanted to go for a double rotation, but she only did one.
I think actually she fought against it. I think here's where you go for it round. She's fought against it here. But if only she could have landed that a bit cleaner, I think it would have given her a good basis to work off for this last move. That was her 6th trick attempt here. So back roll mega loop. So it will go in as a score. Possibly a low 3.77. It's given her a chance though, because still this is a very important moment in this heat for these ladies to try and make it into the semi-finals. because I think this is oh no, she's got 2 trick attempts left. Has Natalie. And it's just interesting, that lucky blue rash vest earlier of Johanna Distier. Natalie Lambrecht's wearing it now. Here she comes then, left foot forwards, in towards the crowd, heading towards the north. God, there is the mega loop 1-footer for Natalie. And actually the scores now being updated on my screens. They weren't fully with us there, but now she has got 3 big scores on there. That was a big move, Julian.
Yeah, that was a big move, and we can now feel in the commentator booth the wind is coming. It's for sure coming. It's strong. It's very nice. I wish I could go kite, to be honest. And yeah, we can see now on the camera and Natalie and the body language. Yeah, she's really powered, and we now have Joanna coming in the gas. Is she gonna use it? We will see just now.
And I think this will just be the last move for her for the crowds. Lovely big mega loop. Can she stick it? She just gets bombed out. We so often see that on the landing with the wind being a little bit gusty down there. That wasn't... It looked like a nice technique on the way. Flying high above the horizon. I think that has to be 10 meters or higher. We'll see that on our Surfer app data, which is always lovely to see. But that, unfortunately, will be the end of the line then for Johanna Distier.
Yeah, unfortunately, Joanna will be out for this time, but she's definitely going to come back full swing. And yeah, congrats to Natalie for going through this round. And we now have Zara Hukengrad and Angeli Bouillot, the Frenchie, another Frenchie, coming for the heat. They have the exact same kite. And yeah, we're going to see what this battle is going to be about.
This is the Lords of Tram, the GKA Kite World Tour. It's big air here. Welcome, thanks for joining us, and thanks to everyone that's stuck with us throughout the day here. So we had difficult weather at the start, but the wind's starting to get clearer and stronger. Now, more consistent actually is the term. It's not really clear right there. That was the wrong word completely. Look at that, that's overcast. And we've had blue sky, it's been hot, it's been cold. We've had a bit of everything today, but the women's really starting to heat up now as we work our way towards the semi-finals. This is going to be the heat of the day, I think, here. Zara Hugenrad against Angeli Bulra. And Angeli didn't finish where I think she would have liked to have done last year, 9th on the tour, and she's really a top 5 rider. Zara finishing 2nd. So this heat is one of those heats where you think, how is this one lined up early? But often is the way with a competition ladder, it can happen this way. This is going to be a big heat. Who do you think is going to take this one, Julian?
I think it's definitely a hard choice. They're quite similar riders. They can send some quite technical tricks, but like really high and really with the kite, and that has a good angle. The kite's going low. So I think it's definitely going to be a big battle here. Yeah, we'll see who takes it from those two chicks. Both riding core kites, both riding Alula prototypes. Yeah, we can now see the brands are moving to some new materials. We've been seeing it a lot. We're starting with the SLS, and now there's the Alula, D-Lab, and yeah, so we'll see what's happening.
So Natalie, congratulations. Tell us about the condition and this crazy boogie loop you did. Like everybody got scared on the beach, but the kite angle was insane. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that boogie loop made my heat. Otherwise, I was struggling a lot because I think I was way too overpowered on my 7. Should have probably been on my 6. But like that boogie loop made it. I mean, without it, I don't think I would have passed. So I'm super happy I managed to land with so much speed. But yeah, it felt good.
Congratulations, best trick of the day so far. So yeah, keep on going. Semi-final next. Good luck and send it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we go again for the next heat of the quarterfinal. Allez.
Doesn't matter what the word is for overlay. I'll find out another time, Julian. Meanwhile, wow, straight out the shot. Oh, it gets a bit of a lull on the way round that loop then was Zara Hugenrad. That looked like she didn't get the lift I was expecting, Julian.
No, definitely not. We saw the kite stalled a little bit after the loop. Usually when this happens, you push the bar, but what I reckon, what I've been seeing with those kites a little bit, we can see that they stall a little bit. And when I went to Anjali when she was competing earlier, I was talking with Anjali and I was telling her to trim her kites a little bit, and she went absolutely massive after that. So yeah, the kite setting is something that you really have to worry about. And we now have Anjali coming in full speed for an next trick attempt.
This is big. If she can stick this, look how far she's gone here. Can she stick it half foot coming out? So often that happens. Landing in that chop, she's going to be devastated she couldn't open the heat like that. And now she's going to play catch up. Look at the height on this. It's really nice technique. Getting a very unique style for this move, and her foot clearly come out, and she can't quite ride away like we saw earlier one of the riders doing.
Yeah, definitely. She really has that style on that late, all those late rotation with the kite loop. She always goes super inverted, and we now have Zara coming for a second trick attempt, coming with a good amount of speed. Boogie, nice, and landed. Yeah, it's not as high as Anjali's jump, but she's definitely getting some confidence in for the rest of the heat.
She's a very good competitor, is Zara, and she knows how to build her heat. I don't think that's going to be a trick that's in her top three, but maybe this is about just getting. She's tuning it up here. That's one way to think about it. She's 11.54 to 0, and Anjali will know. And Anjali will know. If she doesn't land this one, she's interesting her position in the box here. She looks a bit further downwind to me, Julian, but she's got one thing in her mind, that is to go as big as possible. Can the local crowd help her here? She's got nice and high. Good decision. Make a loop, delayed back roll. She had to learn that.
Yeah, definitely. You could read before the jump that her kite position was nice inverted rotation. She really does it this way. It's quite scary, to be honest. I've been trying a couple times, but it just scares me. I don't know how she does this.
I've been in that position once before, and then I woke up in hospital 2 weeks later. It was a very strange position to be in, sort of backwards on the way out. It's almost like a bit frontwards, backwards. You can't even work out if it's front or back on. It's very inverted. It works for her, and that was a nice reply to her, and a very good timing from her. There she is. There's both of your riders then. Zara Hugenrad from the Netherlands coming in, the vice world champion. She's going to be up against it. If Anjali Boulois is in the mood today, which she looks like she is now, she's going to be up against it. Let's see what Zara can do now.
Big loop with a nice kite angle. I don't think that's what she was going to go for, but we can now definitely see that the wind is picking up. So they're going to focus on some nice big mega loops and yeah, less technical.
I don't feel like the kite hit a nice bit of wind as it went round in the mega loop there. It looked like it didn't hit a constant wind. She lost that constant feeling, perhaps why she didn't go into a rotation or something like this. But we can hear in our live stream booth here now, it's getting very strong, the wind, as it builds up, and it's the right time for it to do so.
Yeah, we can now see the beach is smoking. The sand is starting to fly, and even in the water there's so many whitecaps. It's definitely picking up now. So yeah, we have to keep an eye on this lead because the wind just flies super high. And Anjali coming in, full power.
This could be massive, Julian. This would be big.
Oh, kite loop. She definitely wants to go for the board up. She sticked it, but that's not what she wanted to go for. I think she's going to go again for it.
I think she saved that quite well. So she reaches down into the board, and there's just too much power on the way around that loop to get it. But she rescues this quite well with a bit of a grab. The judges will see this as a bit of a messy move, but it's still probably going to score a 3, or maybe a low 4 at best, maybe 4, just because of the height. It was 10 meters up in the sky, 7 seconds in the air. It might be useful. It kind of helps to eliminate Zara's 4.50. So it is a score on the board. Yeah, it's a 4.93. That's actually a big score. So Anjali here is in a nice position. She's got 2 of her scores are higher than 2 of Zara's already. So I think the momentum's starting to change in this heat. I think Zara needs to go for something big here. She's got a kite loop back roll that's big and a kite loop front roll. I think a standard kite loop could be improved here, or maybe she's going to try and take the foot out.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she missed the takeoff.
I think she managed to stay on the water here, though. That was unbelievable riding there. To me, the judges won't count that as a score.
Yeah, for sure. But we can now really read that the wind is strong. They're really holding against the kite, and yeah, it's definitely picking up. We can now see Zara coming in full swing. Nige edge, big late back roll. That's big.
You've seen naturally the amount of power she got through this loop. This is it going to say that is going to be big? That has to be into the nines for me, Julian. What an answer back. This is about to get crazy this year. I can't wait to see this score. That was wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. And the kite angle was really nice. She really had that slug after the loop. She probably had the adrenaline pumping through that. And she's definitely talked about that. Let's see what Anjali responds.
So it's an 8.43 coming in here for Zara, and it may well have not been in the nines due to technical difficulty. It was a straight mega loop, so maybe I got a bit excited, Julian, because the height was 12.4. It looked a bit more than that to me. I mean, I don't know about you, Julian, but for a second there, I didn't think that kite was going to take her.
And when she went for that rotation, doing that late back, she really committed to it. Inverted, and we now have Anjali coming. See what she answers to Zara. Is she gonna land it? Yes! She's definitely that's not a good answer to Zara, to be honest. She's putting the bar even higher, and yeah, and that was big. That's at least 11 meters.
So apologies, it was actually a kite loop. It wasn't a straight kite loop that Zara had done, so it has kicked out her other kite loop back roll, which was a decent score anyway, at 6.07. So we're seeing possibly the highest scorers of the ladies so far. This could go either 9.0 then from Anjali Burrell with that amazing mega loop board off. She's setting herself up for a big finish. She's got 4.93 currently on the board, and that's only a kite loop as well. So she still could open up in the boogie loop category, something quite big to kick that out. So now we go over to Zara. You know, what's she got to boot out the 4.5 here?
Yeah, she definitely looks powered. The wind went up for sure, and she's now, I think she's might turn around. Hopefully the judges will be kind she missed that takeoff, but we'll see just now.
This is one of those heats you don't want to end, and actually, fortunately, I can't believe we've still got 3 trick attempts here from Zara to got quite a few more from Anjali. So what Zara got? She fixed that. Oh, that's a big back slap, that one. It looks like she was going for the mega loop with a foot out. She's trying to replace that 4.50.
She wanted to go for the 1 footer, but unfortunately she couldn't grab the ball, and the feet went in already. So went out already, sorry. So she didn't land, but now Anjali makes a good amount of
very fast coming out of there, and she's to disappear through the water sometimes.
Oh Jesus.
Anjali, God, the sounds coming into this live stream booth are quite scary now. They're sort of like low drones. There is a replay of this massive, just the acceleration she had downwind. She just couldn't stick it. Look at the ramp starting to build there of chop. So unfortunately, Anjali couldn't stick it. But that 9.0 she scored has absolutely rocked this heat, and Zara is going to have to compose herself if she comes back into this.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're now going to see Anjali just grabbing a ball and going back to the shore, and we have Zara, which has 2 tricks left, 2 tricks attempts, and we'll see what she will be able to do. Yeah, to just do now. She looks quite powered, and yeah, we can experience one of the jumps, and yeah, almost gone over the edge. Still jumps. Yeah, straight jump. She didn't really get the takeoff. She was super powered. We could read from the body language.
So 2 more attempts for each
Just
other.
recovered from that 9.0 from Angeli. That really did mix things up here. Second trick in a row, she hasn't really stuck something, Zara. It's still all to play for. If Angeli lands something big in her next trick, you feel like this could be difficult to reply for Zara. And I'm seeing an Angeli that's really focused here at this competition. I think most would argue that she hasn't achieved or finished in positions that she deserves for the standard of her riding. The first lady to appear in the Red Bull King of the Air. This lady is in the ladies department. She breathes her breath to calm herself down now, as it looks like she's about to hit right slam the door shut on the Vice World Champion 2022 here. Zara Hugenrad should be thinking in her mind now, come on, calm down, one more big move and I'm in that semi-final. Here she goes then, Julian.
Is she gonna go for a big loop? I know she's doing biggies. Oh, that's big. She's gonna get a clean landing.
She gets so unlucky it seems to them landing. She's flying up in the air. She comes down here. I love this, Julian. That was an absolute massive understanding of a boogie loop. Right foot forwards. That's a switch tack, everyone. That's like writing with a different hand. If you write with the left, doing it with the right. That would have shut the door, I think, firmly, Julian. But she's just left it open here for Zara Hugenrad.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a good trick. She chose the good trick to do now. The boogie loop was the right thing to do at that right timing. Unfortunately, she didn't get the landing, but I think she's still going to be stoked about it.
I think she needs something like a 6.8 here.
And now is the turn of Zara.
I'm pretty
She got to
certain.
do something big if you want to take the lead in this heat and get a spot in the semi-final. Let's see what she's gonna do. Strong enough, but she still can do it.
Maybe more than that. She can do just a big 7 here. Race to 4.50. That'll be big. And it's a huge move. She's coming down with some speed. And she's sticking. She's got it. That's a big bomb. She ended up right near Angeli there. She travelled here 90 metres in distance, and she's just pulled 98 kilometres out. That was absolutely massive.
Yeah, that was definitely big. I think she should have maybe waited for Angeli to just get a boat back and to just ride away. She decided to go for a trick attempt, and that was definitely a big boom. You can now see 14.5 meters. That is big.
90 metres here. The stat here that I'm looking at from the surf race, 98 kilometres an hour. That's the fastest point that she travelled during that. We haven't seen much 50s today. That's how fast she got powered through the sky there, and I think that was a respectable way to maybe bow out of this heat. Angeli Buar is actually going to be going into the semi-finals here, as that was the last move from Zara. We're going to see now, that almost looked like a raging cyclone in the sea. That was an angry little lake here. We're seeing gusts to me here, well over 50 knots now. Up and down, so.
Yeah, definitely. We saw the wind was picking up and picking up and picking up. And now it's definitely everyone at the beach was waiting for the wind to pick up. And yeah, it's right time. People were saying it's going to pick up at 5. It's now 5, and the wind is in full force.
Well, just about had a moment there to get our breaths back, because this heat between Angeli Buar and Zara Hugenrad could have raced any final, any big air competition. But as I see it now, this is the end for Zara Hugenrad. That's 7 tricks each. Yeah, so that's the end of that one. We go straight into the UK versus the USA.
Yeah, and we can now. The wind is very strong. The launching is going to get trickier, and we can see the waters flying. We can even get a little bit cold in here. I might go wear my jacket because the wind's coming back. We can feel it, and yeah, very nice conditions here.
Now, I'm wondering, where is Francesca Manni? Is this the next heat? Where is she? I think there's two riders here that are going to be late into this heat. Yeah, this is a slow entrance from these two riders. Perhaps they ended up in a position where they couldn't get out. But when these two riders are in a heat, right, you can actually get out onto the water, because any time you're riding out there, you're in the landing area. So I'd say fortunately for both these two riders, they're getting ready. But this is still interesting because the yellow flag is up.
Yeah, yellow flag is up. It's a rough start. And yeah, definitely this guy's gonna launch soon. And the riders from the previous heat are coming back to the beach, while the other two riders are going for the heat. So yeah, very nice.
So the real drama here on the beach, Francesca Manni about to launch. Someone's got quite close to her as she tries to get into the water, late into the heat. These girls are absolutely lit now. This is well over 40 knots. Here we can get rid of this. There of Angelique Duar, who looks ecstatic in the background in the white rash vest. There's her cool kite that's been landed. In the background there is Francesca Manni trying to rush out to her heat, and it's her rash vest that's currently up. I wonder how much grace these riders are getting with these conditions to get in position. What do you think, Julian? Because that's her flag up. I can see the blue flag indicating that it's her time to trick. But these two girls, and a kite has got win. Unbelievable drama on your screens. Right there, Kylie Thomas again has a kite release on her for no reason at all. The jet ski's going to rush over to her. She's going to have to deny help with that jet ski because we know she will be disqualified. Here is a replay. What a replay we've got. Epic replay as she's riding on. Boom! The chicken loop just blows out. This is incredible drama here, Julian, as this wind strengthens. She can't have the help from the boat here. Wow, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, definitely. I've had that happen a couple times. It's when you don't put the chicken loop properly into the hook, when you get a little bit stressed, you forgot all the essentials. And yeah, the essential is to put your chicken loop good into your harness. You have to put your little into it so it doesn't fly away, but I think she didn't really put it happened to me a couple times. The guy just pops out, and it's weird because I don't know if she was still attached to the safety line. I think so.
This is major. She can't touch the boat here. She's in a very interesting position here, whether or not she can touch the boat or not. We have had a rider disqualified for. She's looking around as to say, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Now, as a good caddy, you out there now passing that kite over if you can. It's not an easy thing to do, and I don't expect to see it, but we have seen in competitions gone by a sacrificial caddy go out there, pass over a kite in the water, which is possible, let that one go. I think she's in a very precarious situation here. Can you rebuild a chicken loop out there? Kylie Thomas, and she's got a kite now flying in the sky, but it's now very much firmly over to Francesca Manni. What a drama we're seeing here in this ladies' quarter-final.
Yeah, definitely, and relaunching a kite that's inverted and all that in those type of conditions is and we can now be sure that Kylie Thomas is going to be disqualified. Unfortunately, the boat just got a kite, but Francesca is still doing a show. Nice little loop, and yeah, it's very nice. Unfortunately, I think it's done for Kylie. She didn't even get to do a heat. That's quite sad. I'm trying to think if I was Kylie, I'll be quite mad in the water, especially if it's the second time. I didn't see the first time, but yeah, if it's the second time happening, we can be sure that next year she'll put all your gear properly, and yeah. And yeah, we can now see Francesca going for some nice jump, kite loop. Oh, she got yanked on this one, but she still landed it. She always makes everything look so easy, Francesca. She's really one of those good riders that are pushing the sport. She's young. She's now in the F1 team internationally, and yeah, living the pro rider life. and I think she's super stoked about it. And now she's just ensuring a show to everyone that's out here, and that's yeah, for everyone that's watching on the beach, getting cold. Yeah, still doing a couple jumps, and I can now see Carly running. I don't know if she will get disqualified if she actually goes back.
Let's see, Julian.
now,
This is
yeah.
getting interesting. On your screen is Francesca Miani. He's just going through the motions of performing mega loop after mega loop. I think we're going to cut shortly to Carly Thomas, who's launching a kite on the beach right in front of us out of our window. DQ is confirmed. The disqualification is confirmed for Carly Thomas, who's now rushing out to the water. We've got to get this scene down here in front of us here because, and another kite goes. Unbelievable. Another kite's gone right in front of us. Carly Thomas getting hugged by somebody on the beach.
Yeah, that's what happened when you're stressed. She is probably so, like, she needs to get her mind right and she needs to get everything sorted out together. But we can now, I can see her now. She's pissed off. She was about to launch again, and she probably heard disqualified, not disqualified, and didn't put the hook probably in the harness again. And as soon as she launched, the kite popped up.
I don't know what will be going through her head right now, but Shane, can we see her on the screens? Carly Thomas on the beach. Really emotional times then on the beach. You're seeing a replay of Francesca Miani. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing on the beach, just out the window in front of me to the left-hand side. There you are on the right-hand side. So it's Carly Thomas with the white rash vest. Absolutely devastated there. Third time her chicken loop's blown out today. She's walking around on the beach, absolutely bamboozled. She doesn't know what to do with herself here. She's just had a kite release on her on the water. She's looking at her hands, actually, Julian, which is a sign that took a bit of an impact on the hands. She is absolutely devastated there. She was in the quarterfinals here in a World Championship event, and she's been disqualified for the help originally off the boat. But that was the last thing she needed, was to come in here. There is one of her kites that's been brought back to the beach. Devastating news for Carly Thomas.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
yeah.
We can see her now. She's really devastated. She's like, she knows it's done, and she didn't even get to prove what she was capable to do. Yeah, she was very focused on that competition. I had a little chat with her earlier, and yeah, she was really focused, talking about some double loops, contra loops, variety, all of that. And now Francesca is still enjoying the flight and the conditions. It doesn't happen all the time that you have one of those world-class spots for yourself.
This is the Lords of Tram here. It is the GKA Kite World Cup. It's big air. We're talking twin tip, and we're talking drama here in the south of France. This has had absolutely everything today. We've had warm weather, 20 degrees, cold weather, strong wind, and Carly Thomas said that must have been a hand injury. Was that her?
No,
Joanna, or was that-
it's Joanna, and I saw the wetsuit was cutted. I do remember when they actually cut the wetsuit, that something happened. So I hope everything is gonna get well, Joanna, and that nothing too major happened to you.
So it's one of our riders going off with the safety team that's had a bit of an injury. And on your screens right now is an equally confused Francesca Miani, who's found her way through this heat. This heat's done. Carly Thomas had her third kite release of the day, ended up getting a bye. Here she is, Francesca Miani, just doing a few more moves. Definitely worth aborting that mega loop with Hannah. So someone needs to be telling her, look, just get out the water. The next heat coming up now will be Michaeli Sol
Against Justin Avril, the French girl. And yeah, talking about that guy that just popped out, it's weird. Like, I think she didn't put her leash on because the kite literally flew away.
All right, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break before we get back to you with all the action here at the Lords of Tram.
Lords of Tram is more than a competition.
Always ready to catch in the spot.
From the beginning, the desire has been to bring together the best riders in the world to develop the big air kite discipline. To make an event, you need a lot of things. A team, organization, authorizations, budgets, and more. We are very grateful to our volunteers, our media team, and our judges. Everyone takes part in and is passionate about extreme sports. You will find them in the air or on the water. Partners are also a big part of the event. We are committed to creating meaningful links and building long-term relationships with them.
Are we going down to the beach? Welcome back. Yeah, we got the beach cam here, giving us a bit of a scene on the beach. 5-meter kites now is the norm, but it's really windy down there now, Julian. This must be pushing 40, 45 knots, and we've had a few incidents there. Everyone seems to be okay. We've had one of the riders just taken off here with the safety team from one of the big crashes. Then we had probably one of the biggest dramas of the day. It was Kylie Thomas with a third. Really, you're saying she didn't put it back in properly for a third time in a row. I suspect something else was going on there with her setup. That was devastating. Just as she headed out onto the water in this big quarterfinal with the Brit, actually, it just blew out, and then she come back in another one. How must she be feeling right now?
Yeah, definitely. And she didn't. When you learn how to kite, you have to put your leash before your chicken loop. That's a rule. If everything flies away, then you still can have it on the safety line. Unfortunately, she didn't thought about it because she's competing. She's in all those emotions and everything.
I think she might have done. It might have just broke.
Maybe. We'll have the infos later. But yeah, she's definitely gonna be bummed about that. We saw that she was pissed off. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And we have Michaeli So and Justin, who's gonna come back next. Don't really know what's happening now. I think it might be on hold as someone got injured and the kite flew away, and yeah.
There is your big air world champion to the left-hand side. Sound of the ambulance in the background. Someone's was okay, I think, but it may be maybe minor leg injury. Let's see. We wait to bring you more information about. There's Michaeli Soul. She looks a bit shaken by what's going on. She's to the left-hand side now, pointing over here. There's the AP flag, which is currently up, telling everyone we're currently on a bit of a break. But just going back to the beach there, that was our current world champion there, who's pointing around on the beach and is a bit shaken by some of the things we've seen here. It's been so windy. We've had everything today. We've had big crashes, kite releases, disqualifications. I don't remember a time we've seen so many DQs. We spoke about it at the start of the day, and then the DQs came thick and fast throughout the day, Julian. And you're almost in a position out here where it's offshore, where you kind of have a think about it for a couple of minutes, and maybe you just think, well, I've got no option.
Yeah, definitely, because a heat is like 10 minutes. You can't swim back and get another kite and go and beat the other person. You just simply don't have the time for that. And yeah, unfortunately, Carly is paying the fees of this. She's definitely gonna have some other competitions to prove, to show what she can do and show a level. But unfortunately, Lord of Tram 2023 is over for her. Yeah, she has to focus on the future now, leave that behind, even if she's still gonna think a lot about it today, I reckon. But yeah, definitely.
Welcome back then to a very drama-infused Lords of Tram here at the GKA Kite World Tour. It's the big air division, and it is delivering as the sun just makes a rare appearance these last few hours in between the clouds, and it looks like there's just a sense of calm descending over the competition area right now for Michaeli Soul up against Justine Avril for a place in the semi-finals. It's actually Brazil versus France here, so we need to change that from Michaeli. We know what the deal is. But these two riders both going out on duotone dice kites now. And this will be taking place very soon. Justine Avril really riding well to get through the harder stages of this competition coming through the second round. But yeah, the wind's just slightly come down a bit. Oh, and we've got Aaron Hadlow joining us. Julian, thank you so much for joining us in the booth. That was some massive, maybe one of the most drama-packed sets of heats that I've seen. Thank you. Flabbergasted, Aaron Hadlow. I am flabbergasted. Did you see any of that action over the last hour?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit, seeing some of the highlights there. There have been some mega moves go down and some big crashes as well. Plenty of drama on the beach. I saw Carly in the last heat there, just couldn't get that second kite, and then when she had that one up, it got released, and yeah, it was just nuts. But that's what the wind does here. It's very aggressive when it comes through as strong as this. You see the gusts on the water, and yeah, you kind of don't always know what you're going to get when you take off.
You start these sorts of days where the wind's coming and going 20, 25 knots, and you just never could envisage what is going to be on the table here, as the locals have now gathered here in their droves as the evening starting to kick into gear. 6:12 p.m. here. We expect to be able to run all the way up to around 7, maybe even 7:30, but just for now the wind's just taking a little bit of a calm down. As I look out, there's no flags raised, so we might well be starting on with the current Big Air World Champion Michaeli Sol up against Justine Avril. But Aaron, I almost need to regather myself after what I've seen here. It was only a while ago Ruben was in here and it was all quiet and calm, and then me and Julian have seen things I haven't seen in a long time. Multiple DQs, which disqualifications. They're no easy thing to do to a rider, but we've seen a bunch of them today.
Yeah, and it's tough because, I mean, at certain points you need to really know what you have to do in those situations, and it's definitely something people gain with experience. It's not always the case that you can, do those things to avoid the disqualification either, especially if you're in trouble or, you just can't get to that second kite in time. And with some big crashes, yeah, everything's all over the place, and you just cannot have that help from the jet skis and anything like that. Automatically disqualifies you, unfortunately. So, but that's always part of the rules. It always has been in competition, and yeah, I think they will learn from that. And in the end of the day, the conditions are tough out there, and it's all about trying to get those big moves, but you got to stay safe and try and manage your way through these extreme conditions as well. And now we just waiting for the flag to raise. We got Mika Sol, probably one of the hot favourites, defending champion here, and Justine Avril as well, been riding very well in this event so far. And we're just waiting for this one to kick off. I see a flag raised there, looks like. So I think Mika should be up pretty soon now.
Yeah, there is the blue flag. That indicates to the riders when it is your turn. They've obviously got this massive big screen down here where the screen man's just running behind me because I think that's not working on the beach. That's why we have these backup flags here. There's the blue flag, which has been hoisted high. That indicates the rider wearing blue is up and they have their time. What they can't convey to Michaeli Sol right now is how long she has. So actually she has as long as she wants with that blue flag raised. And I'm wondering if she's actually going to be getting on with it. There she is, riding right foot forward straight away, Aaron.
Yeah, it's big. Another big starter. She's been having some amazing starts so far. Oh, but she just couldn't quite take it. Yeah, when it gets choppy and you lose the tension in the lines there. She's been taking that one each time at the beginning of her heats, getting a big score in the bag. But that one was, so close to landing. I mean, it was landed, wasn't it, basically? It was 10 or 15 metres till, and then just a chop took her, and unfortunately that one won't score, I don't think.
Yeah, I'd want that definitely not scored if I was one of the other riders. You've got to ride out of your trick smoothly. 13.2 metres high up that was. That was a real big jump for her. 70 metres in distance. Showing her competitive experience. She knew it was her go. She didn't wait for the screen to be turned on. She knows the rules really well. As we see a lovely wide shot of just how far some of the riders are going here. That was Justine Avril getting a nice banker on the board. But just to go back to that, I thought that was really smart from Michaeli. She could have easily got confused that the screen is currently not working on the beach. The flag system is our backup here. That's why we have it. And her being a smart rider knew she needed to trick. Her flag was up, and unfortunately for her, she ended up way downwinded. She's riding, seems like ages to get back up, but she looks pretty chilled to me. Hands off the bar. She's relaxed. She won't let that bother her, Aaron.
No, not at all. Super experienced, and all the top riders, they just have so much more time to think about these things. They know what tricks they can do. They just got a whole another area of the brain capacity to just figure out all the other little details that are going on when it's your time. Working out the gusts, when to take off, and managing your space out there on the water. And that's what you see with the top competitors. Mika's been in the game for so long in different disciplines. She won't let anything like that phase her.
AP flag I've just noticed out the window again, which couldn't tell you what that stands for, but I've made my own mind up. That was the A problem definition I gave that years ago. There's a hand going up there from one of the flags team. This green flag should be ignored on the left-hand side. I did report that my concerns over a green flag, one of the Lords of Tram's flag. They assured me we don't have any green flags here, so it doesn't matter. But as a competitive rider, a green flag always scares me. I always feel from the days of competing I've done is that a green flag means action time, but that's gone by the wayside.
Yeah, there's plenty of flags on the beach, and so many competitions that I've been in, I've also been looking back trying to spot that thing, because they're often quite small and mixed up with a bunch of others, so that's pretty hard. But in this situation, there's 3 massive flags there. I imagine it's just postponed slightly. They're trying to fix the main screen, so it's a bit more clear for the riders how much time they have. But that should be back online in no time.
I hope that wasn't me that unplugged. I'm standing here looking at the screen, man, hearing behind me hustling around, and I'm just looking at my Mac charger thinking, hope I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it's strong down there on the beach now, and you can see Mika really try to hold on to that 6 meter Evo.
I think that's Carly Thomas down there, and she's not just keeping her warm down there. Is that Carly?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not just keeping her warm down there. That actually is really a nice thing to do for one of your big riders here, by just holding her like that. The amount of energy that she's able to transfer away from Mika, she's giving her an actual break here. She's giving her a bit of a rest. If she just let her go now, she'd probably just pull the bar in and boost straight out on the water. So that's really not maybe what it appears to those of you that aren't kiteboarders out there, thinking, oh, she's just trying to keep her warm, or it's just, a best friend. She's actually really offering a great bit of caddy experience there. And any kiteboarding, especially in strong wind, it really does help your fellow kiteboarder out to hold the back of them whilst they launch, or to be there as an extra bit of weight.
Yeah, definitely. I've never understood or could deal with it when there's people just there waiting for full heats, 20 odd minutes. In this wind, you just cannot underestimate how much energy it takes just to hold a kite down on the beach there. And in this situation is different. You're waiting because you're very soon to be back on the water. And here we see again, friend of Avril come down to hold her back and just take a bit of that energy out. But looks like the AP is down, and we'll be raising the blue flag for Mika, and she'll be back out again shortly for her next trick. So Mika had a crash, and then Justine in the lead at the minute with a 4.6 from her first go. So Mika will be heading out and getting in line for her second trick attempt, and I imagine it's going to be a repeat of what she did at the beginning and just try and land that, because that's quite a good score. We saw her get up to 8 points for a big late back roll earlier in the round, so I think she's going to be going for that one again.
It's the Lords of Tram GKA Big Air Kite World Cup here in France, and that is a massive mega loop with a delayed back roll. She's going to be in the air at least 7 seconds here. Look at the distance covered. This could be the first over 100 meters today, Aaron.
That was massive. She got the magic gust as well. You can see on the way down, it was just absolutely keeping her in the air. The kite was heli looping all over the place, and she was just able to control that. Very similar to the first one, actually, coming in hot, but she had gained her experience from the previous trick, managed to ride that one out, and I think that's going to be a big score.
That was way more than 59 meters, 14.3 meters. And nope, you didn't see the replay there, just in case you think you've lost the plot. That wasn't the replay of her massive mega loop delayed backward to the right that she prefers. But what can Justine Avril do? It's gone into a big loop, committed to that kite loop very quickly, Aaron, and gets another bomb out here.
Yeah, it's a problem. When you pull the kite so early in a trick, it's really hard to control the speed, control the slack in the lines, and you see how early she got whipped, and then from there you're just a little out of balance. You're constantly trying to slow down and really brake with the kite behind you. And in these choppy conditions with a lot of speed and a lot of power, you can see here it's even a struggle to get back upwind.
She looks like she enjoys it though. You know, Kaylee Soul, multiple world champion now in freestyle, and she's really making a name for herself in the big air. And she just looks happy to me out here. She's enjoying it. Look at that spray up in the face from Brazil. Quite a difference here, just getting absolutely washing machined all the way across the bay as she comes back. Right foot forwards again, but she just looks very calm. It's going to take something very special to beat her here, Aaron.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen some really insane tricks from many of the girls, but I think, yeah, just like I say before, with many of the top riders, they're just so comfortable with a kite in their hands in any conditions. And for anyone looking back at home, looking at this, thinking, no way I'd be out in there, or this would be such a struggle, and it just looks so tough. Like, it's just so funny as a rider. Like, you just kind of get out there, and at the beginning you warm into it, and then by the end you're just so comfortable in these conditions, and it's a really hard feeling to describe. But then when these gusts comes, you're actually looking for them to do this sort of thing.
Was that a second front roll in there?
Second rotation, and she just couldn't quite take that one either.
And we'll never know what they'll score it. That's the devastation with that, Aaron, because let's talk about this. This is a huge booby loop. I can't believe the heights I'm seeing these ladies go. It's a doobie loop there into a second roll. And again, just pulling the bar back, trying to create some tension, just bringing it as far back as you can to try and create tension. She couldn't find it. I mean, these scores would have been well up into the 8s and 9s if she'd landed that. But Justine Averill is still in there. She's only 0.13 down.
Yeah, definitely. That was the same again. And just couldn't take that landing. And like the thing is with these small kites and this much wind, you get so much pull towards the kite. Here she goes for a straight loop with a tail grab.
Took the bomb there.
Came out quick. But yeah, like I say, the smaller kites, you do have to be so precise with the steering. It's really ridiculous because the kite loops so quick. And then because there's just not much canopy, not much material up there, you come out of the sky so fast. So your timing has to be absolutely spot on with these smaller kites. And you see, yeah, let's mick her on that last one as well. Like she just couldn't get the kite behind her enough to slow down, and then you're coming in so hot that it's just such a tough one. And although it's flat water where you take off, by the time you do get down, that's way more choppy than you can really can see on the screen here.
Almost halfway through this heat now, both riders having 3 trick attempts, Aaron. Is this a case for concern for Michaeli Soul, who's just got 1 landed move in her 3 tricks?
No, I don't think so. She'll go out and get another big score, I think, here. And once I think she'll be in a commanding position after her next trick, and she'll be able to, just go for something that will just edge her in front. It's a difficult one in this position because she's probably not going full 100% out. You know, she's trying to just get some big tricks on the scoreboard, but like just these conditions, the point, if you do it as you just want to do it, the points are going to be massive anyway because the wind is just so strong and they're just going so big.
I think it's suiting the riders right foot forwards quite nicely now. They really are coming into the beach. The wind has shifted round quite northerly, so here with that left foot forward, she's not getting the cut as they might have done before in, but it's suiting her. She likes this right foot forwards here. She's turning around. She's I don't think she needs to go massive here, Aaron. It's what I've been thinking those last moves. You know, does she need to go this big, or is she just one of those that can only go massive? No, there's the answer. Straight mega loop, land it. That was very experienced riding.
Yeah, you wouldn't do anything different. She's in such a, even though she's behind and only got 1 trick score, her big trick from the beginning was so much higher that she just needs something decent in the mids there, like 4 or 5 will just put her in a really good position to take the win there. So she went first in the heat, so now it's down for Justin to reply here, and then I think Mika will go from there. But again, they just she just knows what's on the cards, what's happening, where she is in the heat, and what she needs, and that's she's really able to gauge what trick she really needs to get her scores.
Cool, big Yankee, big New York Yankee on that mega loop, the delayed roll from Justine Averill. She's needed that. Here we go. Look at just the yank. Once you put your kite through the power zone, just look how fast it pulls you. Boom, really nice control. That looked a lot higher on that.
Yeah, that was a nice one, definitely. And good power, good pull, and she should get a decent score for that, I think. That'll be a 6.5 there come up. So
yeah.
How are we looking now? Yeah, so Mika doesn't need too much just to get in front there. Another 4 or so would put her in a decent position, so it'll be interesting. I think she'll still go for a boogie loop. Yeah.
She's got to land this though to really feel nice and confident. And yeah, that was a really well executed boogie loop from her. The nice replay here, Aaron. Did you like this?
Yeah, it was good. Super controlled. She could have got pulled out of position quite easily there, but she held it, and yeah, it was all about the landing. I think in those situations when you need to land something, that you just get the first part of that trick done and just like really focus in from the halfway point there.
From what I've looked at today, Aaron, it doesn't seem to be what's going on up in the air above the water for these riders. That's the problem. It's the landing here where we're seeing so many moves executed perfectly and coming in just that extra distance downwind. Look at the flat water you get to take off from. That's nice. That is a bit out of sorts boogie loop, but actually well controlled. Oh no, just down to the end. Didn't look good on the way up to me, but in that landing area where the water is so much more choppy, it really puts the pressure on to try and ride away.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of different things here, because yeah, you can also go for the perfect trick and get everything absolutely in line, but if you hit one of the gusts that are out here in the critical moment of the loop, it's going to pull you out of position. You're going to get some slack in your line and it's going to throw you off, and then you often find yourself coming in way hotter than you could have expected. And at the same time, sometimes you feel like you're going to get the gust of your life and you just go nowhere as well. So it's a real balance. It's real fine feeling for what's around you and how that takeoff, how you're going in the original takeoff.
Thanks for joining us here at the Lords of Tram. Is the GKA Big Air Kite World Cup in France. One of maybe even 3 big air events here in the GKA, and this is your current big air world champion just going through the how has she landed that?
Amazing landing. Yeah.
How has she landed that?
Super good.
That's a bomb out into a landing. No, that's what that looked like to me.
That was just one of those gusts that just totally disappeared. Yeah, she was just out of no tension in the lines, but she had already done enough. She was winning the heat. Yeah, Justine would need something pretty massive and spectacular here to take that away from her now. I was surprised she went for that at the end, actually. I think she could have changed the trick category and done something else, but now it's down to Justine with the last jump of the heat, I believe. That's a big gust coming in here. Can she find something good? She's gone for a double loop.
Wow, what a commitment that was right to the very end. And the bar just gets ripped out of her hands. Wow, who goes for that unbelievable attempt here at a double loop? She got the height, Aaron, and she just held on, and she nearly got away with it. Magnificently avoided a front side block side tumble there, so reminiscent of Ruben where he got his tumble. I think she's okay there, but I can't believe it.
Definitely okay. What a trick. I mean, she knew what she needed. It needed to be a massive trick to get her through that round, and I think that would have done it. I think another meter or two. Yeah, she was pretty close. So unbelievable last trick there, really putting it on the line. Pretty heavy crash, but yeah, she's fine. She's got away with that one.
I don't even think it was her last trick here. I'm pretty sure she had they got 7 trick attempts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that was her 6th trick attempt, unless they've moved down to 6 trick attempts. No, because it's gone back over to me. So that wasn't even. She's got another go at this, Aaron.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I saw the other girls getting ready for the next heat. I thought maybe that was down to it. So it looks like Mika's going. Is she going back out for another one?
I wonder if that was the word just to say, look, I've done myself there. Congratulations, I'm out. Like, I don't think she's coming back here. Is Justine Averill. She doesn't look like she's making an attempt for me to get back to the board, but maybe I'm wrong. But
no, I think she's trying to get back, but It's actually so difficult to body drag when you're that overpowered. You hardly even can stay in the position, let alone go upwind. So you're relying on keeping your position and letting the board drift down quicker than you. But yeah, she's struggling to get back to it there. I think she's fine.
I want to see that again. I hope someone does bring. Oh, and Michaeli Sol's bringing her ball back to her because she wants to see it again. Could this be a dangerous move, Aaron? Would you do that?
Hard to say, definitely, but I think Mika's just got the confidence in herself, and I think any rider that does. And in these conditions, you are definitely. There's probably times in my career I might not have done it when I was younger, but in big air, it's a different ball game. You got to look after each other, and in these crazy conditions, it's it's definitely tough.
So she missed her chance to get the board back on here. She's waving frantically, and I don't think she's going to get another assistance from anyone to bring her ball back. That was her chance to get it. I don't think she's okay here, and I'm wondering, what's she waving for? Does she need the help from the boat? Yeah, so I think the boat's starting to go in here. I know she is bringing her board back one more time, but this is her turn now, and I think her turn has been. I'm interested what Michaeli's done here. I mean, she wasn't exactly close, but it was tight enough that Michaeli's missed her go, I think. And I think that's really good sportsmanship, actually, for Michaeli. She's in a position here where she's well downwind. She's probably absolutely knackered with her kite at 12 o'clock, Aaron, and that was a really lovely piece of sportsmanship from Michaeli Sol, who just skips her own trick attempt, I think, because we're now we're going into the next heat now. So she's just given herself a chance to get back, and I think that was wonderful for Michaeli to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I think she knew she had it in the bag there, and the time had gone. Just shows you how windy it is. It can't even body drag. Crazy.
She's going to be knackered when she gets back to the beach.
Okay, so next up we got Natalie Lambrecht from Sweden, Angélie Boulia from France, and this is going to be a very interesting heat. We're getting down to the later stages of the competition now, and both of these riders been absolutely sending it. Angélie's had a couple of standout tricks for sure, huge tricks throughout the day, and Natalie's showing very good consistency. So it's going to be a pretty big heat here. We're really getting down to the final few heats where, you know, the cream rises to the top.
That was a quick shot of Justine Avra. I expected her to just be on the floor there. She's very in good shape to deal with all of that and come back and walk straight back up the beach. So our cameraman just spotting her. There you can see the scene then to the left-hand side with the yellow flag. Aaron, I'm cold in here. I've messed it up. I've left my nice warm coat in the car. The temperature's dropped. How have I done this again?
I thought you would have learned from last year, but it's much warmer than last year. I mean, we were here commentating last year, and blimey, it was absolutely freezing. This year it's a bit warmer, but yeah, as the Tramontana comes through, it really starts to get chilly in the evenings here, and that's reflected on the water too. Makes it much more challenging. Everybody's using so much more energy to hold defense compared with somewhere, you know, tropical as well. So when you get into these final later stages in competitions, there's also a fatigue factor coming in towards the finals, which is much stronger than some other warmer events for sure.
3 heats remain then of the ladies. Actually, that's not true. There's a whole bunch of heats. That's totally wrong. That's not bad. 4 heats. We've got a mini final coming up as well. Natalie Lambrecht from Sweden up against Angélie the Charger Boulois from France here, who's been storming her way through these heats. This is going to be a cracking heat.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen some insane tricks so far from both of these girls, and I think this could be. This is where you got to put it on the line. This is it for the finals, the one everyone wants to get to, and yeah, now's the time. So I think we're going to see some pretty massive sends coming through here.
Natalie Lambrecht from Sweden then spends a lot of her time in Egypt. Should have all of the whole of El Guna cheering for her and the Makani Beach Club as she goes for not the perfect start for her. Just a scent jump. Didn't quite feel it, and she won't be happy with that start. And are we going to see even further inside the mind of Angélie Bouloir here now, who seems to really have made a change to her competing strategy, Aaron, which so many have wanted to see over the years, and she's able to structure her heat so well. At the moment here, is she going to do it again? Interesting. Didn't fancy that one left foot forwards. And these are the sorts of changes we're seeing from her. In the past, I think she would have just steamed in there and sent that, but now she's really going about her heats in a different way. Could this be her time here?
Yeah, she's super experienced in these sort of conditions as well, and she knows exactly what she's got to do. It's just a straight kite loop, didn't get a massive gust there, but it's something on the board, and then, yeah, that will work for the first trick after Natalie only getting a jump. So that just shows the wind shifts here. It's not ideal. There's not the big gust coming through. It's still a pretty massive loop, so I think it will score okay. So she's starting off just getting some tricks on some scores on the board so far. But yeah, speaking about people who come like Mika being so comfortable in these conditions, I think Angélie's also one of the girls that I see most comfortable in stronger winds, taking big size kites, and seen her in Cape Town and in many big air spots, really dealing with some challenging conditions. So let's see now what Natalie has for her first proper trick attempt here.
Yeah, nice landing there, a bit of a transitional landing. And they're the ones that can go wrong if you find you don't have any tension in the kite. You end up over your backside, pretty much changing direction here, riding in left foot forwards, mega loop delayed roll, and anyone with a dominance of a right foot forwards, so Goofy coming in here, tends to want to ride out right foot forwards as well. So nice for Natalie to get that in the bag. Just going back to Angélie and what you're saying about her being comfortable in these conditions, Aaron, one of the other aspects is actually being comfortable to take risk. To take on risk, which some of the top ladies riders can do. She's definitely one of them. She'll go for it and really take on the risky moves.
Yeah, definitely, and in risky conditions as well. So there's a real fine balance, and I think that's what you're seeing with her at the moment. She's deciding, like here, she's aborted it. It's just gaining experience, and that's just what all good riders tend to do over time. And it's just you start to realize, in so many different types of conditions, in so many different gusts, when you have to pull out of going for that loop. And that's something we try to teach to many people who are learning to do kite loops. It's all about that feeling on the way up. Do you have the right takeoff? Do you have the right tension in your lines? Is it time to pull that loop and really send it round? So
it's just like no different than a spaceship, really. You got to abort on the way up. If it ain't going no good on the way up, you got to abort it. Otherwise you're just gonna be taken apart.
So here's one of those gusts that have just come through. So windy that neither of these girls can hardly keep an edge here. We can see Angélie out the back, also with a kite down on side of the window, just stalling, just trying to pass through this. Natalie can barely keep upwind. And this is sometimes you just gotta either decide that you can make this work, get up in the corner there in the flat water and use the gust, or you just have to let it settle down a little bit and just bide your time to get the gust that's going to work. But you can see how crazy these conditions are now, and I think as the evening goes on, we're going to see this throughout to the finals. But she's gone for the jump, some pretty massive kite loop, straight kite loop, no rotations, but big crash. Yeah, so the strong winds combined with this with the yank and the pull of the kite, excuse me, it's just so hard to control and brake and slow down. And there you see she just had nothing on the way down to break her fall. So unfortunate crash there for Natalie. But I think the wind will gradually calm down throughout this heat.
And she's in trouble here, Natalie, of actually getting back to her board now. We talked about body dragging be difficult, and this is interesting close to the beach here. She's body dragging out of it. You on your screens can see Angélie, and we've just got Natalie here body dragging straight back to the beach, getting teabagged and hammered along here. She's going to get another board. That's the strategy she's going for here. She's not messing around trying to body drag back to that board, and she needs someone to be bringing her a board ASAP. Where's the spare board? Meanwhile, Angélie Bouloir who's ended up a little bit further down. Where there's a great shot of the choppy water, and director rightly gets rid of that guy.
I think there's a kite switch going on down here. That gust was so strong, she just cannot hold the 7 meter. And that 7 meter Rebel, I can tell you, is powerful. It is got a lot of power in that thing, especially if you're not trimming it down. But look at this huge gust down on the beach here. Angeli out the back, biding her time. We can see Natalie switching down to a 6 in front of us, but yeah, it's Angeli's go here, but the wind is just so extreme now. She's really struggling to hold on to the kite she has.
Aaron, I've got to interrupt you here because on the beach here we've got this great shot of this kite being launched. Aaron, the board's just come in from the boat now. Can Natalie touch it? This is really important. Natalie's there. The board has just come back from the boat. I'm worried about this for her, and if I was the competitor here, perhaps she gets launched on the beach. What a great shot we have here. This is 45 knots or more. That is the board that got returned to her from the boat. Would that be something you would be worried about touching as a competitor?
Yeah, I wouldn't be having that. I would be taking my spare board for sure. It's a bit of a grey area, to be fair, because they are both. Yeah, I mean, if they're identical boards and they're in the same position, then yeah, I mean, you're going to grab one. But I think she's grabbed her spare actually, so she should be fine with that.
Yeah.
And now Angeli is still out the back, biding her time. It looks like she's going to set up for one now. She's coming in pretty hot.
Yeah, great work by the director there. Just switching to Angeli, who's going to get a
massive, huge yank, huge late back roll, coming in just too hot, cannot control the landing. Nothing she could do there to take that.
And now she'll be the one that doesn't have a board. Let's take another look at this replay here. That's over 15 metres for me, Aaron. That is massive. And she just can't get the kite in a position to give a significant lift on the way down. And are we going to know? Angeli's managed to get back to her board.
Yeah, the pull in combination with the late back roll there was absolutely perfect. That was such a great shot there from the side on there. It was nuts. But
16.7 metres
yeah,
from the surfer
huge.
wrap. That was massive. 68 metres across the bay. She's gone and she's getting nailed here. What a way back into the heat here. This is absolutely nuking. I'm sure one of these kites is going to blow away on the beach outside here, but this is currently Natalie Lambrecht's go. I think it'll be a bit harsh, but I think she's going to get timed out of this trick. I feel like unless she goes left foot forwards now, the judges or race crew may feel like, look, she did get all her time to change the board. I don't know, but I think she has to trick it. I'd say this is 50 knots coming in. Angeli Boulois has just been blown all the way down to the beaches. They're running. It looks like a desert storm. This is ridiculous, Aaron. This is 50 knots now.
yeah, look at this out the back there. You can see just white gusts just flying. She has to release her kite, I think, here, Angeli. She's too far downwind for someone to catch this. Natalie, meanwhile, is trying to deal with it up there. It looks like she might go. She's coming in left foot forward, and she might be able to send a trick here. Yeah, she's going for one. Huge,
whoa,
massive
she sends
loop.
it.
Can she break in time and land it? Oh, I mean, that's as good a land.
She just couldn't deal with it. All the drama.
So close.
All the drama coming in here now. It's the Lords of Tram GKA Big Air Kite World Cup. What a moment this has been for you to join us here. What is the time here? 6:44 p.m. 50 knot gust blasting in now. Angeli Boulois has been blown out the zone as a sandstorm nails the beach. She's still in this heat. The white water now has literally been picked up and chucked downwind. This is what 50 knots is all about. And Natalie Lambrecht, meanwhile, going out there with a 14.7 massive mega loop, and the AP flag, yellow and black flag, or black and yellow flag is raised, Aaron. And the race director deciding enough's enough of this absolutely ridiculous heat.
Unbelievable. I mean, absolute mad respect there to Natalie for even sending a 6 meter in that. I just was looking out and could just see the water being lifted. Yeah, that was an easy 50 knots out there now. Unbelievable. And she almost landed that. I would have given that as a landing if her board hadn't have just come off out of the straps there.
So right now you've got Natalie Lambrecht on the water. That was the best thing that jet ski could have done, was drop that board off to her. Has she even got a board, or is she just going on her feet here? Yeah, the safest thing she could have had is a board given back to her, and she's actually doing what I think is the sensible thing here. She's riding back out on the water as a matter of safety. I mean, look at this water coming in over the boats of jet ski. She's just got to play easy. So he is currently abandoned here. the boat sort of going past her as if to say, look, sorry, we can't do anything about anything here. And Natalie Lambrecht, I wonder if she's trying to get back up into the zone and can't quite see this yellow and black flag. But I think that was the right move from the race director, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a bit of a argument about is it too windy or not, and there's different perceptions for different riders. But I think in that circumstance, when you're out there on big kites, 7 meters, in that sort of wind, it's super powerful. And yeah, in the end of the day, the safety has to come first. And if you cannot hold an edge on a 6 meter, then yeah, it's time to get back to the beach, reassess what's going on out there, and yeah, it makes it tough. I mean, it makes it especially tough being downwind.
All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break and we'll be back shortly. What an incredible day it's been here then at the Lords of Tram at GKA Big Air World Cup. We're in the south of France. It's been epic. We've had 20 knots all the way up to apparently 70 knots gust. Get that for the ladies. We've seen everything. Kite releases, massive mega loops, people body dragging in. It's been one of the most action-packed, drama-filled days I've seen in competition for a very long time. That's the end of day one. We hope you can join us over the rest of the weekend and maybe into Monday, as this forecast looks absolutely epic for Big Air. See you again soon.
Welcome everybody to the Qatar Airways GK Kite World Tour.
Inside the water, like everybody want to win. It's gonna be a good show.
We now have like the best showcase.
I'm here to win.
For me, freestyle is everything in my life.
Pressure is a privilege, brings out the best in us.
The level can fully be shown when the conditions are perfect.
It's time to show it.
Let's get it.
Who are gonna be our new world champions?
Wherever you go in the world, one airline goes further to make it feel exceptional. Qatar Airways, going places together.